Wait a few minutes. Let me see if my husband can cut his TV off. Hello, somebody's here. Thank you for the thumbs up. I'm pulling my computer up so I can see the comments. Babe, can you cut the TV off for me? Hi, Alicia. How did your live stream go tonight on Instagram? Yay. Hey, Brandy. Yeah, I said 10 o'clock on the flyer because I know that I be on CP time and I know other people be on CP time too. Hi, Malaya. How you doing? Oh, you bring me my birthday drink. Thank you. Oh, and you couldn't save it? Oh, man. Brandy. Am I drinking brandy? No, this is Crown. What's not loading? Is my live not loading or is your live not loading so you can save it and like re-upload it? I'm not frozen, right? Oh, you were saying hi to Brandy. My bad. You like Crown Apple? Do you be drinking? What do you mix yours with? This is Crown XO, and it has pineapple juice and I think lemon juice mixed together with it. We saw this at this lounge, and I said, "Ooh, we should recreate it." But theirs has Hennessy in it. I was like, "We gonna do this Crown." Y'all, I can't believe my birthday is at midnight. I feel like, am I the only one who feels like, oh, you just be doing ice? Okay, no chaser. All right. You drink it. Well, yeah, because Crown Apple actually does have like a sweeter taste. So if it's nice and cold with the ice, if you like the flavor, I can see how you could drink it plain. But Crown Apple and I have a hate-love relationship. It could get you lit, but it's like, for me, it has a weird aftertaste. Like, especially when it's not cold. Oh my gosh. Okay, I'm gonna have to stop looking this way because I'm seeing how I look when I look this way. Hold on, let's put my computer up here. That way I'll only be looking a little bit weird when I'm looking over here. All right, that's better. So what's everybody grateful for? I guess we can start with that. And then I have a game, like if y'all want to play a game, I guess, or if y'all want to just ask me random questions, we can do that. I don't really have a plan. Oh, thank you, Brandy. That's something good to be grateful for. I know, especially if you started the year and it was real like Rona restricted and you had to adjust to that. Kudos to you for doing school, because like it's a big challenge going through school when you don't have all these restrictions and stuff in place, but having to adjust to whatever restrictions the schools are giving because of Rona, while also trying to focus and make sure you do well in your classes, that's a lot. And you're a mom too. So kudos to you. I know you're glad to be done. And keep going. You're going to be there before you know it. You're going to be so proud. And your children going to be so proud. Hi, Dee. How are you? I think Dez is joining me soon, but he's keeping an eye on Josiah for me too. So I see him trying to set up, y'all. You know, Dez ain't been on here for some months. You got gas. Girl, I got gas too. Do you know somebody called me out of my name on Twitter because I shared my TikTok video where I told people to go get gas if you're in my state? Somebody called me a bee because they said I was wasting all the gas. I blocked them and I reported them. But it's like, I understand if you want to try to inform me or you want to try to tell me like, hey, when you go out and you panic buy, it makes it worse. But what are you calling me out my name for? Yes, girl. My video, I shared it to my TikTok and it got like 4,000 views. And it's crazy because I don't really use my Twitter like that except to promote YouTube. I'm trying to do better with being more social on there. But I'm not going to lie. TikTok and YouTube have had my attention in the last like month and a half since I've been on TikTok. And anyways, I dropped the link and I put, you know, go get gas, y'all, hashtag gas shortage. The next day when I went back to look, it had like 4,000 views and some folks were like retweeting it, loving it. And it was one troll in particular that called me out my name. They didn't have no profile picture. Hey, how are you? So I was just kind of looking like, well, dang, I don't do back and forth on the internet with strangers, especially strangers that don't have a profile picture. So I just blocked the person. I think filling up your car is okay, but when people panic buy and fill up all those containers of gas, that's doing too much. Yeah, I saw that, and that's excessive, especially when they're saying that the shortage is going to be over Friday. Like, there's no need to take all the gas from people that actually need it. But I know a lot of people that fill up their cars 2 and 3 times a week. So they're just trying to do what they always do. A lot of people still work in person, and their commute is not like down the street, so they have to go to the gas station multiple times a week to get to work. So yeah, the toilet paper, folks was acting crazy because people don't just get one roll of toilet paper or one case of toilet paper out of Sam's. They literally go and get like 8 of them. They literally try to put everything in their cart, and it's like the next person won't have nothing. I go back and forth for you. Next time, point them out. I'm gonna stay at home. Mom, nothing but time on my fans. Wow, oh my gosh. Yes, I saw it on, people were making fun of it, but it was some people really doing that. Hold on, y'all. Dez is here. Can we put it on you so you can say hi?
Sure. What up?
Okay. I'm assuming he'll scoot over, like when he's ready to talk. People are so mean and bullies for no reason. Yeah, especially on the internet. Like, I haven't really had anybody disrespect me on TikTok yet, but I know that it's coming because I've seen people do it to other people that have more views, and people are really mean on there. And then on Twitter, I've really never had anybody say anything crazy to me on there because I don't really have a big following on Twitter. But I know that there's people that like to hide behind avatars on the internet because with YouTube, if you ever have a video do well and you don't have the popular opinion, that's when people like to come out and like troll your page and call you names and, you know, make generalizations about people that look like you. It's a whole mess. People like to hide behind keyboards for sure. I didn't say what I was grateful for, did I? I don't remember the last time I talked to y'all, so I'm gonna name a few. And yes, Alicia, you don't need to retire. You just need to regroup and figure out your plan and stick to it. Someone called my sister a female supremacist and stupid because she made a TikTok on how men want an old-fashioned wife, but don't expect to be a provider like men were expected to be. A female supremacist. Let's see. Is that like basically that they're trying to call your sister a feminist or even worse? I'm using Google right now on this laptop. Supremacist definition. For those of you in the chat who don't understand what that means, it is a ideology advocating a matriarchy, I hate that word, female-dominated society. So it's like a correlation from feminism. Yeah, that's a reach. That's a reach. And I see a lot of like female motivational people on TikTok that say similar stuff. my whole thing with 50-50, and I've talked about this before, my whole thing with 50-50 is that it's okay if you want your woman to work, but in my opinion, if that's how you feel, you should also understand that if she's doing 50% by going to work every day, she can't also do 100% of the chores and 100% of the tending to the kids. And I think that when people have this argument, they are still thinking in their head that they want that woman that's like cooking and cleaning and taking care of the kids. But now you also want her to do all of that by herself as well as work and pay bills. And I think that's why a lot of people start arguing about that. Now, it's different, like, if you're saying that you want to work 100%, but you want her to do those things. But even at that point, I think everybody should work to do chores and, take care of the kids. That's the way both of your children or both of the parents will have a good relationship with both parents and not just the mom. Like, imagine you have this awesome dad and he's a great provider, but you don't have a relationship with him because he's always working. So he doesn't spend any time with you because he lets mom do it all the time. You know what I mean? Like, I think it's good for two people to be equally yoked and be able to work together. Like, if something happens to one, the other can hold it down. And it's like, if you let all that weight be on one person, then it's like, Brandy, no, not 80% of why. If you put all that on one person, then it's like, if that person can't be there, the whole family's going to just kind of be SOL. So, I don't know. So, one of the things I'm thankful for is that I got my passport, or I filed for my passport at the end of last month. So, I'm excited because that means that I'll be able to start going out of the country again, or not again, but just in general, like being able to travel again, but also go out the country, go on cruises. I have some places that's close to the United States that I've been wanting to go to, like Jamaica or Mexico, and I haven't been able to go because you have to have a passport. So me and Josiah and Des are definitely going to be taking on some adventures. Yay! Girl, that vacation is in 5 days. I would be super excited too. That's like next week, next Monday. Oh, Brandy, one of my goals is to do a big YouTuber like meetup with whoever wants to travel. And you can bring your kids if you want. You don't have to bring your kids. Like, it's up to you. But, like, I always say stuff like that. Like, Alicia, she be traveling. I'm going to go on a trip with her one of these days. But, yes, I love, love, love the idea of being able to travel and just see new places. Because I've been to Florida like 15 times, and I'm not exaggerating. I'm literally not exaggerating. A lot of my trips when I was, like, college years was like Florida, Florida, Florida. So I'm ready to go somewhere else that's not Florida. I hear you. I hear you. My first trip is with Des. It's going to be this year, and we're not bringing Josiah either. We haven't been able to go on like a trip with just the two of us for more than, a day or two?
Yeah.
And like since our honeymoon. So it's time.
That's about right. Yeah.
It's time. I've been wanting to go to Puerto Rico, D. That's on my bucket list, actually. And then I keep seeing people travel, and they keep going there, and it looks so beautiful. So I would love to go to Puerto Rico. It's already on my list. Alicia said, let's talk about being equally yoked. Okay, Alicia, we can talk about that. You kick it off, though. Like, what specifically do you want to talk about? And we need some guys to join the chat so we can have, like, the male perspective, like, more than one male perspective. Because my husband is here, but, he outnumbered. So he ain't going to say much if there's not a balance. Or are you?
I mean, I'll contribute.
He's like, I'll contribute, but he be outnumbered, y'all. It's a lot of us. Is Alicia still here?
Maybe she's typing.
Oh, yeah, she might be typing. As Life Jennings said, don't be a nickel out here looking for a dime. Yep. That's exactly what he meant when he said that. A lot of us want somebody that has it all, but we don't even have our stuff together yet to be a good match for that person. So we're attracting, I think, where we are in some ways. But opposites attract too. And depending on how you grew up, it's some people that are like always healing everybody, always, doing things for other people. So when they see somebody who looks like you could help them and they would be like a fixer project, you hop on it because that's your heart. That's the type of person you are. And sometimes when you attract that type of person, you end up attracting narcissists and people that are going to take you for granted because the opposite that they offer is the fact that they are codependent, selfish, narcissistic, and just trying to make it. Some people are raised on love and some people are raised on survival. And the ones that are raised on survival don't always have the same sort of loyalty as it pertains to relationships as those that are raised on love. And if you were raised around a divorced family dynamic, a separated family dynamic, a single mom family dynamic, it can be difficult for you to understand how to break that generational curse type thing and kind of be better than that. There's so many people who be like, I never want to be like my dad. I never want to be, just like my mom. And then we end up growing up and we actually duplicate the same behaviors that we said we didn't want to be like. It's hard to break that cycle. Thank you, Malaya. Alicia, I watched your Puerto Rico vlog already, or did I watch your what's it called? Did I watch your Mexico vlog? My grandma once said, "You're just like your dad," and my dad himself said that's not a compliment. Oh. I personally like cooking and doing laundry because I'm very particular about those things. D, let's talk about it. When it comes to me cleaning, I feel like my cleanliness is a different level than the other people in my home. It doesn't mean that they can't clean. It just means that we don't clean the same way. So there are certain things that I prefer to do unless I'm just tired as hell and don't want to. Just because I feel like when I do it, it's going to be done right. And I'm just going to leave that at that. I think it's important to work through childhood trauma before getting into a serious relationship. I think it's important too, but a lot of us don't do it. A lot of us will say it's important, but then we get lonely and we hop into a new relationship before we can heal ourselves. I've done that before plenty of times. And you end up kind of spiraling down that same path because you haven't learned. You didn't take the time to process what you were supposed to learn from the previous relationship. And also, I think when it comes to women, we've been conditioned to feel like we have to be in relationships. And it's a bad thing to be liberated and to be free. And I just think about Lori Harvey. Hey, Shauna, hey. So, I think about Lori Harvey and how people were really giving her backlash because she had dated all these different people. And then basically she's just a 24-year-old that's not in a committed relationship. And I think because we've been conditioned to think we're supposed to settle down and get married, that if you see a woman that's not settling down and trying to get into that serious relationship or is just really firm on what she wants, it's made a negative thing, and it's really not. Because if you work on yourself and you heal your childhood traumas, you heal those insecurities, you work on developing the best version of yourself, not only do you feel better about yourself, but you learn what you like and what you dislike. So then when you see something that's not worth it, you won't even waste your time because you've gotten to know you for who you are without being next to somebody else. I'm posting this live session. All right. I was hospitalized for an anxiety attack and was actually diagnosed with PTSD from childhood. So it's still a work in progress. And you said finances and wealth, and equally yoked in a relationship, finances and wealth. So you focus. So you mainly are talking about just finances and wealth. I don't know, cause that's a good one. I really don't know how I can kick that off. Like Alicia, give an example. She's saying she want to know about equally yoked, but pertaining to finances and wealth.
Okay, simple question for equally yoked. If you're equally yoked, do you want to carry an equal part of the burden in paying bills, or do you want him to be the financial leader, and how do you plan on making that work? Because that's the question you go into when you're financially equally yoked.
Okay, did y'all hear what Des said? I don't think you have to be on the same page financially, but I think you both should be hustlers.
No, y'all need to be on the same page financially if y'all are gonna share a bank account and pay bills and do all that stuff. You have to be on the same page as far as making sure your bills are paid.
Well, hold on. Wait, now she's saying yes, like responsibilities and kids. Oh, she means Dee said she meant the same income.
Okay, I mean, if you're talking about equally yoked responsibilities, that means that.
I'm this straw at the frame. Why y'all ain't tell me?
If you talking
trying
about
to drink my
equal
drink.
responsibilities, y'all need to have an understanding of what equal is gonna be.
So, do you understand investing yourself, like, or do you want to learn from your significant other? Like, do you feel like you're willing to learn from a man that you are courting? Like, do you feel like a man that are you looking for someone that has certain things on a list? Like, you want him to be make good money. You want him to be able to invest. You want him to be able to have multiple streams of income. You want him to be able to be good for you physically. You want him to have similar religious beliefs as you. You want him to be able to match your fly and understand your love language. But what is it that you have that you will offer to him?
And does he want that?
And does he want it? Because it's like, maybe you make the same that he does, but you're saying you don't want to contribute financially. You want him to contribute financially. So if you're not contributing financially and he is, what else are you offering him that will offset the financial part that you're not helping out with? Because you said equally yoked financially. So that's where I'm thinking. Because a lot of women don't believe that they should like pay bills if they are with a man. So if that's your belief, what are you doing to build him up as he's working to provide for the both of you? Alicia said, true, Des. I can't do day trading. Girl, I can't do none of it. And I want to understand it because everybody is talking about like Bitcoin and all of those things. And, you know, putting your money over here and putting your money over there. Hey, Alice. And I don't know how to do any of that.
Okay, I'm not.
What part?
I'm not understanding.
Which part? Who said it?
D, she's saying her husband pays the bills and her money goes into savings and investments.
Like Gucci and K, like Gucci and Keisha K or kinda?
I don't.
Because Keisha was investing his money.
Nah, that's not the same. Gucci left her 2 and she flipped it to 6.
By doing investments and stuff.
Right, but
it was
not
his
like
money.
She had 2 on her own. He gave her 2 and was like, here.
So you would invest and he pays bills. So when you say invest, do you mean like... No, not being equally yoked, obliterated my relationship. Yeah, it's obliterated.
I mean,
I've been drinking.
So
it's obliterated a couple of mine too.
I have a question. If you're saying you invest and he pays bills, what happens if your investment goes belly up?
That's a good question, Des. It's okay because you got the bills, right, babe?
It's not about that. Your part of being equally yoked is no longer there.
Oh, because I lost the money for the month. Invest in bonds is what she said. He said, I work a full-time job and I have 2 side hustles and bring in my own income. That's what we use it for, Does that make sense?
It makes sense.
Oh, okay.
I mean, it makes sense because at the end of the day,
It won't, period.
whatever works for you and your partner is what works for y'all.
And he pays the bill. Alicia making me laugh.
So, I mean, the only reason I ask that
Period.
is because as a guy, what they want to know is, should things break off, how does that investment pay them back for the bills that have been paid?
You don't get reimbursed.
Yes, you do.
You don't get reimbursed.
Yeah, So here's
How do you get reimbursed for when we're together in a relationship? Hold on, let me make sure y'all can see this head.
No, see, and that the question you asked is why a lot of guys wouldn't go for it. How does he get reimbursed if you're divorced and he's paying bills with y'all together? There's no return investment for him.
Not even if you're married, though.
No, listen, before you get there,
let's pretend like we're not married. No. Boyfriend and girlfriend, what do you mean paying back?
What I'm saying
is, you
gotta hear me out before you keep talking. Hear me out. What I'm saying is, if you're saying you're investing, but all of the investments are in your name and y'all split, but the agreement was you'll invest and I'll pay bills. If we split and nothing's in my name, how does it pay me back for anything? I never get my half of the investment.
Well, is her name on the lease and all the stuff and all the other bills? Or
it doesn't matter. You live here for free.
Right.
Right. That's what I'm saying. It doesn't matter if her name's on the investment.
But no, what I'm saying is it's your place.
Right. No.
So she's not taking half of your home.
Yeah. Depending on how long you're married, she does. That's what I'm saying. If you're saying we're divorced and we get married, but we've lived together and shared an account.
No, I said if we're boyfriend and girlfriend.
If we're boyfriend and girlfriend, 9 times out of 10, if we've had this conversation, there's nothing there. We wouldn't be living together. Because there's no return on investment for me. If we're supposed to be splitting this and that's your responsibility, I have no feasible return on investment that I can have in my hand.
But what you're saying is, okay, wait.
What I'm saying is there's no physical return to me for paying bills. That was our agreement going in that you would invest.
Right.
How do I get my part of the investment back that you made?
You don't, because...
See, and that's why he wouldn't go for it.
No, you don't, because... She was investing and sharing the investments with you while y'all are together.
How do I know that?
But once y'all aren't together anymore, you're not entitled to anything that she would be taking away.
What is she giving me?
Just like she is not entitled to you to pay her bills anymore.
Right, but the thing is,
that's
what
the
is
thing.
she giving?
I feel like what I said makes sense, right?
No, it doesn't.
Let's let them say if it makes sense.
Here's why guys don't want... I wouldn't speak on it. What I'm saying is, as a guy... What part of the investment are you giving me that I know and that we have a contract signed out before you move in?
But are they signing a contract then?
Yeah, you would need to sign a contract. Otherwise, I can't guarantee that I get anything out of it.
I don't do just investing alone. We talk about it before I make decisions. So if it were to go bad, I would blame him. And I get what Des is saying.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I mean, if you can't just tell me, oh, well, I'm going to invest and you going to pay bills, but I have no way to get a piece out of whatever you make. And then if you're investing, but you're never making anything, I'm losing 100% because you're living here for free. You're not paying any bills and I'm not making any money off of what you're investing. There's no upside for me at all.
You get,
Nah, we talking about cash. We talking about cash. If we're saying you have to pay me a part of your investment, then that would be you making money. If you're not making money, why are you here? Because that's your part of the investment.
Everybody stop and get his thumbs up if you haven't did it already. Thank you. Okay. So
it makes no sense, and that's why you see guys now where he won't most guys, unless they're making that much more money than a lot of the women, or he's making...
Yeah, I was finna say that, but Des is gonna argue.
No, that don't count.
Des is gonna argue.
That's not money. That's not money. And that's the thing that guys are saying now. It makes no sense. If women outnumber men 7-1, if you account for people who are not attracted, asexual, or whatever category they fall into, it's 4-1. Why am I paying all this money for one when I don't have to pay anything and have a rotating door? What sense does that make? As a business investment, what sense does that make? Because this
she could be a good woman for you, though.
It doesn't matter.
She might not give you the same.
She has no return on a financial investment
She might be
at
a
the
good
moment.
mom. Not
It
every
does
woman
not-
is a good
It
mom.
matters, but that does not matter.
She might be a
I
good.
can find a
She
good
might be
woman.
a good cook.
I can find a good cook. I can pay for a good
She
cook.
might be
Why
a
do I
good
need to get one
housewife
for
for
free?
you.
Why do I need a free housewife if I can pay somebody? If I can do it myself, why do I need her to do it?
Because you want love.
No, love is not
men
free.
want love too.
Yeah, but guess what? He don't want to have to foot the whole bill and not get nothing in return.
You get her.
No, that's a bill.
He who finds
She's
a
a
wife
bill.
finds a good thing.
He found a bill. That's what he found. He found another bill. That's a
Exactly.
no-go.
You want to know what else is another bill? Kids.
Right.
A
So why do I want to
car.
invite you in here and have one
Your
bill
friends.
and then add more bills going along that she's not going to contribute
Because she's
to?
special.
It don't matter. You special and broke.
No, because she's equally yoked, so she can
ain't
have her
equally
own
yoked in
money.
Shit, she don't have no money. You ain't equally yoked.
We didn't say that the girl didn't have money. She didn't.
How does she have money? What I'm saying is her return investment is I'm going to have to get some kind of financial winnings out of your investment. If you do not give me anything out of what you won, why are you here? You have not done anything or served me any purpose as far as making money back on my investment, i.e. this relationship that we've started for me to pay the bills.
So do you feel like it's the same as it pertains to men who don't provide anything and the woman carries it all?
Is that what you're saying? Because if you're saying her being a housewife is enough, would you say it's enough for him to be a house husband? And would you respect it without looking down on it in their relationship as he would have to his housewife? Because he would not be able to down his housewife because it's his responsibility to make sure she's taken care of, i.e. what works for their relationship. I.e. you can't down that because that is the dynamic that works at that moment.
I'm
so
not
if you
gonna
can
lie.
respect it, that's a completely different deal.
Because he loves me, you gonna pay for a maid, a cook, a dry cleaner, and a prostitute. We have a joint account, and the majority of my income goes into.
So
if I sell a stock, it's deposited into our account.
So
it works for
different.
us, but it may not work for everyone.
That's different. Y'all have a joint account, so she sees it.
But you weren't trying to hear
what
any
you were
of the
saying, no,
different
you weren't saying anything
perspectives.
about a joint account. You were saying she's gonna keep it, and that's my thing. If she's gonna keep
well, that's what the
that's your
chat.
job.
Wait a minute, that's what the chat said. I was just reading what the chat said.
Right, and I'm going off of as a dude. If you're saying that, hey, we're equally yoked, but you're not gonna work, but you still gonna make money, how does that help me? If we're saying we're equally yoked, we make the same thing, but I'm not gonna physically see a dime of it if we don't have joint accounts, because a lot of folks don't. So if we don't have a joint account, what
if you make the same amount and then you start making more money? Don't you think it would be fair for you to pay more money if you make more money?
That's fine. That's an issue that has to be discussed at a later time. I'm just saying, going into it, if we make the same money,
I feel like he
what's the blessing?
misunderstood too.
No, I didn't misunderstand. I didn't hear the part about having the joint account. That's a big variable in there. But if you're saying we're not
in
going to
these case, she's saying that they work together.
Right, I see her, but most people ain't doing it like that.
But why wouldn't they?
Because most people are looking at it as a guy pays the bills. That's why.
I mean, you can have a guy pays the bills and doesn't mean you don't love him, though.
It's not
all business.
No, you have to look at it as a business. Should we get divorced? Should worst come to worst and I have to go to court and I make more money, that means I'm probably going to have to pay for your attorney. If we hit 10 years, I'm probably going to have to pay spousal support, and I'm probably going to lose a home I'm staying in. If you don't have a job, they're going to give it to you. Because this is joint property. So again, how does that help me?
Sign a prenup.
We make the same thing. Would you sign a prenup as somebody who made the same amount of money as you?
Probably.
So
because I didn't marry you for money.
So here, right? See, but that's the thing. If folks still like y'all making the same thing, they feel like you have no reason to sign a prenup. That's most people's mindset going into a marriage.
That's true. Wealthy people who marry people that are not wealthy, or maybe like they're not as wealthy. Like, let's say a famous rapper that makes millions marries a stripper or something. He might make her sign a prenup because to protect their assets, essentially.
Right, but if you're
most people who are not famous don't sign a prenup.
And most of the time, you have to get them to sign it, and it can't be forced. Meaning, once you get within a week of your wedding day, signing a prenup is purposeless. It's going to end up being thrown out because it's like it's a coercion into signing. So most attorneys will tell you once you get
No,
within 7
neither
days.
one of us signed a prenup.
Once you get within 7 days, I mean, signing is pointless. So
I think
that's
it's
what
easier
I'm
to
saying.
have a joint account for handling finances as a married account, but everyone is different. We don't do that. We have
Yeah.
separate accounts,
Yeah,
but we do communicate with each other about bills.
making sure they're paid.
And
So.
like, you know.
No, we didn't. But that's what I'm saying. Most
And like
people.
I actually brought it up again recently to ask like, hey, do you want to start a joint account? But it just kind of worked for us to do it separately.
Right, and most people who are not wealthy are not gonna worry about a prenup. It's more expenses before a wedding.
That's true.
It's another
Our
expense
main focus was planning that wedding.
because 9 times out of 10,
Oh, and we bought a house too. So buying the house and then getting married.
9 times out of 10, if you sign a prenup, you want somebody with legal experience, i.e., an attorney, to read over it, and that costs money. So you talking about an expense? A, most people don't feel like they need one because they feel like they're gonna be together forever. But B, most people can't afford to hire an attorney before they get married and read over it, and actually be in not fall behind in whatever else they're doing. So it makes a difference. Most people just aren't going to. But that's what I'm saying. When you're talking to a guy who can cook, can clean, can do most of that stuff for himself, your case becomes harder to make as to what you bring to the table if you don't have a job that he deems as, okay, should I fall, you can pick up where I leave off. So again, you're having to think of this as a business. This is a business. It takes 31 days for you to be able to exit this legal contract. This is a business. This means that if I make money, we make money. And that means if we decide we no longer be together and I don't have a piece of paper saying that you stuck with whatever you brought, I lose property. Meaning I lose net worth. So this is a business. So when you're talking to guys who
My
understand
husband don't
this,
even know how to make mac and cheese, so
see, and that's the thing. Like my mom, when I turned 10,
that's always they always asking what women bring to the table.
well, because a guy has to show what he brings to the table from the beginning. It starts when you walk in the door.
That's true.
You can find it.
That is true. Like
You
when
can-
when a man comes to a man comes to a woman's house and meets the father always drills the guy that wants to take his daughter and asks, well, what do you do? Where do you work? You know, how are you going to provide? But I would say less often do fathers and mothers drill women that way. Well, what do you do? Where do you work? Like, I feel like society allows women.
Guys, Alicia.
Society allows women to have more of an
Except
opportunity.
for having the kids, but I mean, yeah, guys do the same.
I was speaking. Society allows women to like have time to figure it out, but they expect men not to. They expect them just to be figure it out quickly and provide. That's what it feels like. With women, you can stay in school for 6 years. You can drop out. You can take your time. Hi, Inez. You can, you know, do everything at your own pace. You can stay at home and nobody's going to pressure you the same to get a job and get yourself out there. Now, sometimes if your parents are paying for everything, they do. They'll be like, okay, now I've been paying for you to go to school. Like, when are you going to graduate type vibes. But it's not quite the same pressure that men have on them, I don't think.
Nah, men have a completely different thing because once you realize you hit 18, they're looking at you as a full-grown man. Mm-hmm. Meaning you can go off and you can go to war. You can sit up here and you can be executed. You can go to prison. All of these things can happen as a man.
Women get drilled? You think so?
Women get drilled in different ways because it depends on who the woman of that household is that man has a relationship with. It's a difference. But guys are going to get drilled a lot more because you're automatically looked at as a provider, as a protector. You already have those adjectives, whether they not you don't.
You think
know.
Men get more leniency?
No, you don't. And the reason why is
really
a guy who has 2 kids and a wife is going to be looked and did something stupid and gets charged is going to be looked at completely different than a woman who has 2 kids and a husband and gets charged. You're never going to look at them the same. The mom is the one who's supposed to be with the kids. That's the natural dynamic. Not saying that
men don't add up to the women.
I disagree, but it's never going to be a thing that's advertised by society that single fathers are taking care of kids. Why it's not a sob story?
Somebody on TikTok was saying that
it's not a sob story.
They were saying that society has conditioned, especially in black families, for us to feel like black women are the single moms that are trying to get the welfare, that are trying to get all the resources from the government, and the dads are not taking care of the kids. You don't really, like, we don't normalize that black men take care of their kids. We normalize that they don't.
It's one of those things that's always been generalized,
and it's not
that
true.
We don't. And it's one of them things that even black women won't acknowledge that black men help take care of kids.
Hey, y'all, make sure y'all give this a thumbs up as you're entering the chat. Thank you.
So it's different in the way that you do it. I know guys who are...
And Alicia said she's talking about single black women and single black men.
In general, I mean, it's never going to add up because women, for one, outnumber men anyway. So that would never add up. But B,
thank you, y'all. I appreciate it.
B, the thing is, even it would never add up, but it would never be acknowledged either. You're never going to acknowledge the single father who takes care of their kids unless there's some kind of sob story necessary.
They do, but we do acknowledge it.
How many?
A lot of people do.
Really?
And they put y'all on a pedestal for doing the most basic stuff.
No, they don't.
Yes, they do.
No, they don't.
Yes, they do.
No, they don't.
I've seen people acknowledge men for doing something simple, like carrying the car seat to the car or walking around the mall with the stroller. But women do these things all the time, especially with the black men, because the society always is complaining about how black men don't show up for their kids. So
people do question what's wrong with black men that abandon their kids.
So sometimes
they definitely do.
So sometimes when y'all do the most basic parenting things, it is over glorified.
But do you understand why it is? Because the whole thing is women act like when it comes to
I agree with that though. I do because I've seen it. I've literally seen it. When it comes
to rearing children, women step in most of the times before they allow men to. A, but B, it's also, look at Father's Day. I'll take this as an example, and I don't think anybody can refute this. When is the last time you saw an excellent Father's Day commercial? Don't worry, I'll wait. Name the company you saw it from that didn't include a riding lawnmower, anything for cars or tools. I'll wait.
Well, that's stereotypically what they say y'all like.
Right, but you know why
would they have a flower commercial for you guys?
You wouldn't have a flower commercial. You can have soup commercials. You can have comedy show commercials. You can even have brunch and dinner commercials for men.
Comedy shows?
Yeah, do you know how many fathers like to laugh, especially on Father's Day? Do you know what gifts most fathers get on Father's Day?
How would that make for a global commercial to have a comedy show commercial?
How would it make for a global show for men to have something about suits or nice jewelry for men on Father's Day?
Suits and jewelry, like watches, that's not a bad idea, but a comedy show
even a comedy show for men.
It makes sense to do the hardware because it's low. Hardware stores are everywhere.
Do you want to know why it makes sense? Because guys like to laugh, especially on Father's Day. You want to know why? Because
comedy show would be allowed to be allowed across the world? That would be a local thing.
It wouldn't. It'd be a national thing because you have international syndicates such as Comedy Central. You have Comedy Central that can do a live TV show screening of something as similar as a Dave Chappelle, Joe Rogan, whoever.
Okay,
so my thing,
to do like an app maybe?
No,
or
it would make sense to put it on TV because you're gonna draw ratings and international ratings as such as commercial money.
JoJo, when men do what women always do, they're glorified. My fiance is the perfect example.
So it's one thing that, here's the thing.
For providing, because a lot of
for providing, the same, you'll shoot a guy down if you say you don't, but then you're saying that's a simple thing. Absolutely not.
For providing for the children or taking them to, like, being present at the birthday party, they're glorifying. Look at this black king.
You don't get glorified.
Look at this black king for showing up to his
you do
child's
not get
birthday
glorified
party.
For that amongst black women.
Women do not. We don't get glorified.
Y'all don't glorify
either.
men for showing up. You want to know what it sounds like? this Negro here, come in here, stand in the corner, get his shirt, and take his half a picture. That's the whole party of women. Mind you, the whole party is women. And if you have them drinking wine, it's worse. Men don't get glorified for stuff like that.
By their own families, maybe not.
No, they
But
don't. Even by other families, you don't.
I have seen men go viral.
By other families, you do not.
Because they're pushing the baby in the stroller in the mall. Oh my God!
Hold on. Do you want to know who
he's holding his own child?
Do you want to send
God.
them? You want to know who makes them viral? Thirsty women with no kids. That's who makes them viral. Thirsty women with no kids.
Spat out my drink.
Thirsty women with no kids are the ones who make men like that viral. You want to know why? Because they want that to be them. Oh, he's such a great guy. And then when they get screwed over by a guy that's like that, then they want to blame the world.
Kayla said years ago there was a Dove commercial celebrating fathers.
Not for Father's Day. I'm saying for Father's Day. What you no?
I tried, Kayla. I tried.
No, do you realize how long Mother's Day commercials play? How many restaurants do Mother's Day brunch specifically for Mother's Day?
Baby, you want to go to brunch?
No, I'm saying guys, you want guys to be fathers and husbands, but when it comes to time for them,
I'm just saying, like, I never really heard you ever say, babe, I really want to go to brunch.
Yo, you missing the point. You're trying to win. It's not about brunch.
What you're saying is, any guy that I'm friends with say they want to go to brunch.
Yo, it's not about brunch. What I'm saying is, it's about being acknowledged and celebrated in time. Father's Day is one of the least celebrated holidays ever. Father's Day will come and go like this. You want to know where most kids go to get their stuff for Father's Day? They end up going to the cheapest suit store they can find, and they buy the little 3 thing. They get the one with the tie, the shirt, the little suspenders, and the socks. And then they spread the one gift out for the whole year. One day you get them bummy black socks that get a hole in them as soon as you spread them.
I heard that the weather is always nice on Mother's Day and then it want to rain on Father's Day.
Hold on, but then for Father's Day, you want to know what women do for Father's Day? I'll explain this. Women decide for Father's Day they gonna have a barbecue.
And then Alice said they be playing Father's Day commercials. I think I heard of Father's Day. I think I heard one recently. It's coming up.
Women will have you do a barbecue for Father's Day and then ask you to barbecue.
Baby, but you barbecue really well.
That's the crap I'm talking about. You could never ask your mama on Mother's Day to cook a doggone thing. Your mama would beat you with the frying pan she love to fry chicken in for asking you to ask her to cook on Mother's Day.
If I barbecued the food, it wouldn't be good. I don't do this.
It's not about you barbecuing.
I don't do this.
But the fact that most women have the gumption to ask you to barbecue on the day that's about you is crazy.
I've never done that, first of all. I've not done that.
Bruh, you can't sit up here and say he don't go through. You would never ask him, no matter what day it was.
Exactly. He doesn't expect women to barbecue. I cook dinner, but it's not gonna be barbecue because I'm not
saying it has to be barbecue. What I'm saying is
cook you dinner.
A lot of women
and I have cooked you dinner.
I know that.
On your birthday or on Father's Day. So what are you trying to say? You trying to say all these women around the world with these husbands that they don't do nothing for their husbands?
I can tell you when husbands
on Father's Day we don't honor you guys.
When husbands get to talking about what Father's Day is versus Mother's Day, you can tell the difference. And here's the thing, I've heard it. I tell daddy's mouth last year when we celebrated Mother's Day. The guys had a 15-minute chuckle about how Father's Day was gonna go versus Mother's Day.
Lord have mercy.
We had a good chuckle because the first thing we said is. And somebody was being funny. Y'all think they're going to do this on Father's Day? Nah. So you understand that. And the whole thing is we can't go through childbirth. So that's not something we can do. But the whole thing is to not be celebrated and for everybody to feel like it's okay for dad not to be celebrated is the problem. But then people want you to be fathers. Fathers never get their flowers in celebration speeches. Name the last time you heard somebody thank their daddy. You can't because they thank their mama. It can be somebody from a married household.
It might be a reason why they're thanking their mother instead of their father.
No, you're naturally taught to thank mom before thanking dad.
Not always.
Yeah, you are.
You are.
I was
not.
Most people are. And the reason
Most women aren't, especially if they have a relationship with their father.
Most women aren't for that reason, but I'm saying, and most of the time in children, you look at Mother's Day.
Did you thank your dad when we got married? Who'd you thank?
Yeah, I thank my dad. I thank my dad even before.
In front of everybody?
Yeah, in front of my
we got people in the chat that was there.
No. And hold on, do you want to know why? Because you don't have a father-son dance at a wedding. What do? We had a mother,
daddy-daughter dance.
Right, you had a daddy-daughter
dance.
Right, and I had a what? And I had a...
She needs to take Des a nice brunch and give him some flowers.
She had... No, I thank my mom because it was a mother-son dance. Okay. Your idea.
Point proven.
But I also thanked my father in front of my groomsmen, in front of the men who would appreciate it. I gave that speech. Because it could all be because it was not for you. It was a conversation amongst men and black men to be appreciated. It's fine. I don't have an issue with it. What I'm saying is once you get to Father's Day, you never. But that's
it is my birthday party and stuff.
Just because you're wrong, don't bring up your birthday party. It's okay. If you're wrong, it's okay. All I'm saying is fathers are never going to be celebrated the same or given the same responsibilities in life, even if they're in a better.
You don't think so?
Because even when you get a divorce, 9 times out of 10, the mom could be a bum and have nothing to her name. 9 times out of 10, the kids are gonna give the kids custody to her, and on top of that, they're gonna give her child support to take care of her and those kids. Even though he's in a better situation, he can take care of him and them kids without it being any issue. But they're gonna give them to her, because they think she's the better parent automatically because of her gender. And then what they're going to do is say, hey, even though I know you can take care of your kids, give him some money.
Exactly. You're always right on your birthday.
Give her some money. So you're never going to do that. It's not a natural thing to do. It's not the natural makeup. That's like saying women will believe men can be raped by women. It's not something that's going to happen too often.
I don't want to talk about that on here.
I know, but it's one of the things that most people are not wired that way to think about it, because it's not a natural thing.
I think it's changing now too.
It has no choice but to.
It's changing now too.
You don't have a choice.
There's men that get put on spousal support, and there's men that can file for child support as well, and also can get custody of the kids. And there's also situations where there's unfit mothers that
right, but we're not talking about this.
The dad just automatically get them because of her gender. That's not always the case.
We're not talking about unfit mothers. We're talking about normal situations.
We're
talking about normal situations where you're talking about mom and dad make equal. They're both good parents and both good people. And 9 times out of 10, they're gonna go to the mom. And that's the way it's set up.
And it also depends on what you guys fight for when you're trying to split that up too.
Yosha, I can tell you from experience. I can tell you. It's naturally given to moms. Moms are naturally seen as the better parents.
So what if the mom says she wants to split it 50-50 instead of what they suggest?
Then it's taken into consideration seriously.
Okay.
Right, so but that's not the thing.
Don't say it like it's just never a possibility.
It's not that it's never a possibility. I'm saying percentage-wise, it's more of an 80-20 than a 50-50. And it goes into, you go into that situation with that 80-20.
Most states favor mother.
The mom really has to be a crap show in order for it to automatically be mom's not getting the kids. It has to be a very bad situation for dad to automatically come off the bat and get kids. It just doesn't work that way. The system's literally not wired that way naturally. It does not happen. So that's just the way it is. But then guys will get mad, and I've talked to other guys that are fathers. They get mad when you see the prop and circumstance for mom, but then dad is paying all the money for everything. Dad works and pays bills and puts food in the house and makes sure he pays for y'all activities. But then when Mother's Day comes around, mom gets the prop and circumstance, dad gets the tie and the shirt and the old socks. But dad does everything. He pays for everything. It's his card that goes on vacation. It's his card that pays for groceries. But he gets no recognition even in his own home. On a day where you don't have to take him anywhere, you just have to be considerate of him the same way you're considerate of mom. But you're not naturally taught to do that. Why? Because the first thing women will do when they want to guilt trip you is tell you how long they stayed in labor with you. And dad will never have an argument that lines up to that, no matter how much money he spends. It'll never add up in the eyes of a child. Because why? Mom does not teach them to value dad the same way. Even when you're talking about valuing husbands and wives, it don't add up.
Teach the children to value dad?
Dad can teach them to do it, but the thing is, it has to come from mom because she's the example. The same way that we talk about how men have to teach their sons how to treat women, it's no different. Women have to teach their daughters how to treat men. But you have to value the way you have to be taught to treat them.
That's true. And I think the problem is women don't teach their daughters how to treat men.
Well, but it's not valued.
And if they haven't had healthy relationships, then they instead teach you how to be independent without a man. That you don't need a man and that you shouldn't settle and la la la. So there's some truth in that part.
But even when you go back into the part where you're talking, even though the line you quoted, he who finds a wife finds a good thing, it never says anything about the good thing that the wife found. What did the wife find? We never go into those words of she who finds a husband finds a good thing. We never go into that.
But honestly, that's just that particular verse because the whole Bible basically is about us honoring you guys.
Right.
It's always wife of, daughter of. It's not a lot of focus on women. The Bible actually puts a lot of glorification on men.
But hear my difference. And when we get married,
it's just that particular verse.
But you got to understand how
the majority of the Bible is about our submitting to you guys.
Right. But you got to understand what part we choose to pick when we get married.
Because God, so for Christian beliefs, it's supposed to be that the man takes care of the woman.
We understand that part. We're not missing
the way that God takes care of all of us, and the woman takes care of him by submitting.
Right.
And the children as well.
So I'm gonna take that part and I'm gonna elaborate on it and show you what I'm saying. When we talk about marriage, 9 times out of 10, we're happy for the man to have found his good thing. I.e., you give your endowment the ring. Mm-hmm. That's your investment to show, hey, I care. But at that point, once we start working on this marriage, we don't start working on the woman submitting to the man right then. That don't start happening. That's not there.
But she has to submit unto her husband.
No, she's supposed to submit unto her husband.
That's what the word actually says.
Right, but
then there's even elaboration on like what makes a good wife under the virtuous woman scripture.
Right, but hear me when I say what part of that is being talked about once we get to that part of the relationship.
Because anytime in the book where it's talking about what a woman is supposed to be, it's all about being conditioned to be a wife.
Right, but my thing is
that's the whole part of a religion. That's our whole role.
That's our whole role. That's the religion. I'm not saying it's not.
Our whole role is literally preparing to be a wife or preparing to be a mother.
Right. So here's my thing.
Literally rearing children and being there for husbands. It's almost like we don't even have an identity aside from being there for you guys. That's the whole point of the submission.
Right.
There.
So my whole thing is it's written in the book. How often
if we're going to talk about that,
how often do you
then that
verbalize
goes back
it?
into the old school 50-50 role where the woman is there to take care of the home and the children, and the man is there to go out and provide.
I didn't say it doesn't. Yo, sir, I'm not disagreeing with you. I said at what point, once we get to that point where she's engaged, at what point do the older women...
Let's read what other people are saying, though. Let's see. We give them a push as a present. Why does it have to come from a woman to teach that to their daughters? Because let me keep reading. Because woo child, the dating scene is wild. Nothing. Okay, let them know, Yosha.
So why would...
Men are always lost without a woman.
Nah, I doubt that.
That's at the beginning. I don't like the word submission. All of it.
Nobody likes the word submission, but the thing is, as if you're saying you're going by, which women do when you bring up that argument of the man who does not work, does not eat, and he's the one supposed to provide. Submission is... Providing is in there, but so is submission. And my thing is, when do we verbalize the older women in the crowd preaching submission as the older men have to preach providing? You do not get that. The older man, the man from beginning, from Josiah's age until mine, and way until you pass on into the grave, the first thing you're taught by your father is to honor your mother.
And father.
And father. But the thing is, coming from a guy, he's going to force his respect. But his biggest thing to you to teach him is to give the respect to her no matter what. The thing is, once we get to the point of we've said we're getting married, at no point is that submission being taught by either gender on either side of the woman that's getting married. Why 9 times out of 10, the women who she's coming from does not believe in submission. They believe in getting ahead and making sure at all costs they are okay whether he is there or not. So at that point, you're not teaching your daughter how to be a wife, even if you are a wife. 9 times out of 10, it does not make sense.
Yes to both of them. I don't think submit is a negative word.
That is how it works. Guys could always look at as providing caretaker as a bad
thing. I know
thing.
for me, I was never taught to submit to my partner. Like, I don't remember being taught that by my mom. And it was a channel I just subscribed to recently. Her channel name is Tynesha Talks. And she talked about how women are part of the problem. Because, like, we have all these expectations of men. He's going to the bathroom, so I must zoom in closer. Can you give me some water? But we're not learning how to love men properly either. So it's like we expect them to provide for us and do all of the pursuing. Thank you. Do all of the pursuing, but then we're not willing to compromise and give anything in return aside from our company. And she was basically like, you know, what are we gaining? As men, they're probably thinking like, well, what are we gaining by being with a woman when she won't submit to me? And even it went as deep as to why black men date outside of their race, because black women have trouble with submitting to black men.
We had that conversation
and
at CJ's house.
Other races don't seem to have that problem in their relationships when it comes to submission. And I think it's definitely how we're raised. 'Cause like I said, I know my mom never taught me how to be a good wife, how to submit. She taught me how to be a good woman, but she didn't teach me how to be a good wife, and she was a wife. It was more so, you know, hygiene things and how to keep this clean and how to, you know, cook certain things that she would make. But it was never like, you know, you treat your husband this way. You should make sure that your husband, you fix his plate first. Or, like, I didn't learn those things growing up. Like, now there's some people who teach their daughters how to be wives. You know, well, this is how you take care of your husband, and this is what you're supposed to do. It's a little different, I think. Whereas to Des's point, men are conditioned to, like, no, you have to work. You have to be a hard worker. You have to be, you know, self-sufficient, et cetera, et cetera. So it's like, okay.
So at least
I can understand, at least with my rearing, like, I was raised to be an independent, resourceful young woman that didn't have to depend on anybody. Man or woman. So I think that it's very interesting to kind of think about how that may have affected women in their relationships, because you meet a good guy and you don't respect him.
I mean, so Alicia, you were saying you don't think women should be trained to be a wife at 9. You start training your little boys how to be a good husband at like 5 years old. You teach them about...
I think men use the word submission to their advantage and don't want to be providing.
But that's different.
I'm trying to read the rest of it. It was confusing to me because I grew up going to church with my grandma, and that was what was preached to us. But my mom would tell me never to depend on a man. I see, Alicia. Some men can manipulate the word into meaning stay through their foolishness and allow them to be controlled.
No, we're not talking about that.
That's also true.
We're not talking about that.
Men are trained to be husbands. Why are we submitting if they don't step up to the plate? We are not talking about husbands. We're talking about husbands, not boyfriends. I don't think girls should be trained to be a wife at 9. I would hope that you don't marry a man who isn't carrying his weight. Yes, hold on. That's a whole different issue, Alicia. Let women live. We want them to aspire for marriage, but men be holding the question out for like 10 years.
Yeah.
I disagree. No, you don't. Are men trained to be husbands too, Des?
Yeah.
And you said, yeah. A lot of relationships don't work because we as women want to be equal as opposed to submitting. Submission has nothing to do with control.
Exactly.
Come on, Inez. Speak on it, sis.
Alicia,
exactly. It does
Alicia,
not.
I'll go back to your questions. Are men trained to be husbands? Yeah. You want to know why? It's the same thing she was just saying. You're a provider. You never talked about providing for yourself, ever. When they start talking about getting jobs and providing, it's never for you as a man. It's the traits of building you to be able to provide for a family. When they talk about holding open the door for your mom, that's not you just doing that as a man for that. She's training you on how to treat women. Because one day she probably expects you to have a wife. When she talks about listening and being caring and making sure you know her and you can read her emotions and stuff, that's not because they care about you as a friend. They're talking about who they would want as a husband. Mothers train their kids, especially their boys, based on what they like. They shape and mold their boys based on what they like in a man. They treat you based on how they've been treated by men. Men do be getting married. The men who get married are the ones who are sure 9 times out of 10.
And
if a guy is not,
boys who use it and twist the words to manipulate men, I think the right man will come along naturally.
It's not natural.
Will make a woman submit and let her guard down.
You can't make her submit. You can't. You can't make her submit. Submission is willingful. You willfully submit. You can sit up here and see it with a horse. They will train a horse. The horse has to understand at some point that he's willing to respect the person that they're listening to. It's the same thing with wild dogs. Wild dogs will attack people that they believe fear them.
Wild dogs.
Wild dogs will attack people that they believe fear them. But once they no longer feel the fear,
exactly what you're saying.
Right, but that's the thing. She has to want to. You can't make her want to. She has to want to on her own. Otherwise, it does not work. It's considered bullying.
But what necessarily, like maybe
the submission is
a single woman though. A single woman.
You're not talking about single women though.
Well, but we are to an extent because you have to be single before you get into a relationship.
Okay.
So it has to become a point where you've been the person has proven to you that they're worth submitting to, because you can't go and submit to any old thing. Because some people will lead you down the wrong path.
You can't go and submit to any old thing.
You can't let your guard down for every friend, because some people will stab you in the back. So it has to be a point where that man shows the traits of a just like that woman is showing a trait of a virtuous woman so that man would want her. Well, that man has to also show a trait of being a good husband for her to want to submit to him.
That's true, but we're also not at the point that we're only talking about virtuous women. We're not just talking about.
Why would you not? Why would you marry somebody that's not?
You're never talking about women that are just virtuous women. Most women are not training their boys to just be with virtuous women. That's not even a training most women give out. And here's the thing: that's not even a thing that girls respect. It doesn't really
take that long to know.
It's one of the things that most women don't even respect virtuous men. They don't. You don't respect respectful and virtuous men.
Or virtuous men, because I don't really remember virtuous being an adjective used with you guys.
You just use that, so that's why I'm using it. But I'm saying because
the scripture, what is it, y'all? Is it Ruth or something? It's a scripture that specifically talks about, how to identify the virtuous woman. That's not something associated with you.
Well, no, you automatically talk of that. How well does he work? How well does he take care of his own bills and finances? And how does he treat me? Those are the first 2 things you look at. But that's not
because those are things that make you a good partner.
Right, but those are the first couple of qualifications before you even get to the rest of the application.
Because if you can't provide for yourself, then you cannot provide for a family. And that's facts.
I'm not saying it's not. What I'm saying is, what
was the other trait you had said? Provide financially, and you said 2 more traits.
You're a protector, you're a provider.
Protector, that's another good one. If you're not resourceful, not even just meaning physically, but resourceful in that you're prepared when it comes to yourself. If you can't protect yourself, you're not gonna be able to protect me.
I'm not, Yosha. Listen.
No,
you're proving my point.
Thing that you said?
I don't even remember, but you're proving my point in that fashion.
How am I proving your point?
Because you're saying even before you get to that point, he has to be able to show you that he has those things. What I'm saying is, at no point are you saying what a woman needs to bring to the table? The reason, hold on, wait. No, I'm not, because I'm not done. Wait. The reason why I say that is because when the Bible was written and approved by Constantine, the thing that a woman had to bring to the table is that she could bear a male heir. That is where we were in that. She could bear healthy children, but more importantly to a man, she could bear a male heir. That's completely different to where we are now 2,000 years later.
Legacy?
Right, but that's different and is valuable in a different way. My biggest thing is that what else does she have to bring to the table to be considered a good woman?
Let's see.
That is taught by other women. That's the difference. And that's the thing. But when you're talking about guys and you're talking about, well, let me see what was being talked about. Men do know, but the difference is men will sit up here and then men will do.
I'm Googling it right now.
Men at times will do the same things women do after they voiced it so long. Guys will sit up here and say something that bothers them, and if they say it enough and it's not picked up on, they'll understand that you heard what they said, but you're doing what you're doing. And the thing is, once they realize it's still not there and it's not clicking that what they're saying is being valued, why are you giving her a ring if she don't even value what you're saying that bothers her about her?
Okay, so Proverbs 12:4. An excellent wife is the crown of her husband, but she who brings shame is like rottenness of his bones. So
Specify.
So to me, that sounds like it's saying a wife is someone who represents her husband well and does not embarrass him.
So 2,000 years after that's been written and approved, how does that play until today? Into modern day, how does that play into being beneficial to a single man?
And it's saying that you have someone you can trust. This is Proverbs 31:10-31. Having someone you can trust. Someone that does him good, no harm, all the days of her life. So a loyal woman that's going to be by your side all the days of your life.
How does that translate into 2021 with what we have going on right now?
She works with willing hands. And she's like the ship of the merchant. She brings food from afar, so she makes sure that you have your food.
So she cooks and she makes sure that you are okay, and she represents you. Now, in comparison to 2021, where she makes the same amount of money as you do, and you can do them things for yourself, how does that help you? How does that help you?
Husbands, love your wives as Christ
She's
loved the
resourceful,
church
great, but as far as anything else, should you split or should you fall, how is she resourceful to you if she makes no money and does nothing else?
Hold on, why? But it says in 1 Peter 3:1, likewise, wives, be subject to your own husbands, so that even if some do not obey the word, they may be won without a word of conduct of their wives. So she also has to be grounded in her faith to help keep you grounded.
Right, but here's the thing.
When you make that decision, because y'all know men make that decision. Y'all need y'all wives around to remind you.
Do you realize the two words that just came out of that?
Subject.
Submit and obey. And you tell one black woman right now as a black man that when we get married, you got to remember what God said.
She opens up her mouth with wisdom and teaches of kindness.
Ask a black woman and tell her that when you get married, she got to be willing to submit and obey to what I say, especially when my decisions are right. And see how far you get in that conversation.
Yes, that's exactly what it means,
She's resourceful with what in 2021? We're talking about.
She's resourceful.
How?
Baby.
How?
Let's be clear though, for real.
How?
Out of the two of us, you don't feel like my resourcefulness ain't came through clear
I didn't say me and you. I'm not just saying me and you.
But I'm saying us to the average, because I'm not talking about everybody
I'm saying
else.
To the average black man and the average black woman, how is she resourceful if he's saying he know how to cook, clean, and take care of his house, and that's what she brings to the table? She don't want to pay no bills, but they make the same amount of money. What else are you doing?
No,
you are working. What else are you doing? We make the same
resources.
amount of money, but you don't want to pay no damn bills. You don't want to submit and obey. You don't want to cook. Why the hell are you here?
Why do we not want to submit and obey if you paying all the bills?
Because it's not a natural thing for most black women to submit and obey. Do you not realize that?
Do you not understand that you're generalizing all
No,
black
I'm not.
women?
How are you? Hold on. I will say this. How did you just say your mom raised you? I'll use you as an example.
You can use me.
How did you say she just raised you?
You can use me as an example.
How did you say she raised you?
My situation is not everybody's situation.
Your season.
You just generalized every black woman, and that's not true.
I said most. And most are not, because like you said, your mom taught you, that's how most black women are taught. So submission and obeying, even when you bring that up in a general conversation, not to get married, but if you tell her submit and obey out of context to a black woman, you don't think she gonna raise up on you and have some fire for you? Absolutely, because who are you as a black man to tell her she got to submit and obey? J. Cole made a song about a chick who said something sideways about him, and because he put it on wax and put it up there, black men will turn on him for having freedom of speech, even though she called him out. He was responding to a messed up comment, and now he's the bad
Everybody,
guy.
so I'm trying to see if anybody's gonna say anything else. I see where Alicia said, period. She's
it's-
probably talking about something.
It's that simple. Most black women, especially now, submit and obey is not a thing that they're taught. It's not even something that they respond well to. Why? Because it's looked down upon.
So here's the question. As the husband, as the leader, maybe it's your role to also help her be better at submitting to you.
How? How do I make you submit better to me when that's something for you?
I think that it's part of proving your trustworthiness. Because
hold on, so whoa. Time out.
Finish.
Okay, go ahead. Because
if you prove that I can trust you, my guard will come down. And when my guard comes down and you're leading me, I'm not going to just lean on my own understanding. I'm going to lean on the word of God, which the word of God tells me I'm supposed to submit to you.
Yes, sir. We're going to have
a transparent... So if I have to submit to you because you've proven to me that I can trust you...
No. It does not say that you No, it says that you submit. Does. No, it doesn't. It says that you submit. And here's the problem. You want him to be a leader, but you don't want him to go through the learning stages.
No, I want him to know before he gets
right. He can't know before he get there. You want to know why? He's walking arm in arm in a new spot with you.
So,
y'all are both new to the
No.
Y'all both new to the game.
Why do you expect her to know how to submit then?
Because what you're saying is, hey, before I took your ring, I dated you long enough to say, you know what? I've seen him as a trustworthy man who's worthy of my partnership. And you know what? By taking this ring, I said yes. So, hold on. Whoa.
So, I'm going to provide for you.
Right.
I'm going to have your back. And you can count on me.
Right, but I'm also saying, guess what? Through the good and the bad, guess what you're going to have to do even when I mess up and make some bad decisions? You're still going to have to trust me that I'm learning. No different than you're learning how to submit, and I have to trust you and give you the same leeway.
If you make mistakes, that it may make it difficult for the wife to submit to you as well.
Right, but guess what?
Many women struggle with submission, but it's not always because of our downfall. Some of it is, but some of it is because of the things that you've done as well. Sometimes you submit to a man and he makes a really messed up decision, and then that it makes it hard. You have to rebuild that trust.
So let me say this: do you not think men have the same problem with y'all when y'all make fucked up bad decisions?
Absolutely.
Hold on, but are we not expected to still go back and trust, but also lead, knowing that we didn't follow us, we took you as an equal, followed you, and now we in a messed up spot, but now we are burdened with fixing it. Because you've messed it up, now we have to fix it.
That's
and
not only. Wait, babe, you took the point and took it somewhere else. That's not what I was saying. I'm saying that as it pertains to leading and why we stop listening or feeling like we can submit is often related to things that y'all do.
It's not just but it can't start off being from things that we do.
No, but there's sometimes where you start off with a level of submission where the wife always was listening, always no. The lead, and it wasn't working. So then she starts wanting to.
You want to know why I can say that's false?
Hold on, let me see what they're saying in the comments. If y'all are both working, you gotta pay a light or gas bill here and there. I think men respect women a little less when he pays everything. I think we as women have to have our guard up 24/7. So when we feel safe and protected, it happens naturally. I agree with that, D. I think we as women have to be able to pick up the slack if our husband loses his job or gets hurt and can't work anymore. I agree with that as well.
But
I don't agree with that. Kayla,
I got to put a star next to that point because I'm going to keep that one.
Kayla, I want to go into that. I don't agree with that. Kayla, which part you don't agree with? IDK, wait, I'm trying to read what D say. IDK, if I'm making sense right now. No, D, I think you're right, nor the statement Des made.
She's saying I didn't make sense, but D is making sense. And Inez is agreeing.
Des is very true on picking up the slack or D, very true on picking up the slack. Okay, Kayla, I misunderstood.
So the whole thing is, and I will suggest one thing once we get to the end. Please remind me, it's a T.D. Jakes sermon, and it's excellent. It's one for men, but he encourages women to listen to.
You want me to put it in here?
No, I'll just remind me at the end. D, picking up on your point that women have to pick up the slack when men fall or lose their job or something. The point is not just picking up the slack. It's not making him feel like crap because you have to pick up the slack. That's the point that makes a difference. It's not just picking up the slack. The man already feels bad enough that the slack has to be picked up. But when you kick him while he's down, it makes him feel even worse. So now he does not want to lead you because now you feel like you're already leading and out in front. So why should you not continue to walk that way? His ego is bruised. So when his ego is bruised, he already does not want to come out of his shell. But now for him to come out of his shell and have to lead when he's not confident in himself, it's not going to work. But if his spouse is also not confident in him, it's not even going to work even more because nothing that comes out of his mouth sounds successful because he was not successful at keeping employment when it was needed most. If you make a man feel bad, the one thing, he may not remember what you said, but he'll always remember what you feel, and it will harbor resentment. And the thing is, he's already fighting the world when he's out there, especially black men. We're already fighting against the world when we walk out the door. The last thing you need to do is have to fight a war when you come back in where you got to lay your head. Because you already feel insufficient, you don't feel adequate enough, but now you have to speak with somebody who verbalizes that every single day to let you know how you falling short. You got to know them 30 days coming every month where them bills are due. When you sit up here and you talking about that stuff, Alicia, the reason men talk about it is because when you bruise a woman's ego, God help you.
My husband lost his job when we were engaged, and I helped him fill out job applications and make a resume. I think that was probably one of the lowest moments, so I agree with you, Des.
It's one of them things
I'm getting a lot of relationship advice right now.
It's one of them things of learning how to speak life into your man that's not valued very often. Speaking life into your man is not valued. The ego of a woman, and women don't think they have egos, but they do, let you miss a doggone Mother's Day. Let you miss a birthday. Let you miss a Christmas. Let you not say thank you. Let you not do any slight thing that you could do to a woman that would mess with you. I heard you. It's tomorrow. You can't mess with a woman's ego in anything that makes her feel like she's not appreciated. She will turn Satan's wrath on you in the blink of an eye. You will be persona non grata from the beginning.
Women want to feel cherished and men want to feel respected.
Men want to feel cherished too, but they can't say it because it's not a natural bravado that is respected by a lot of women. It takes a special woman to find a strong man who can also say, I like to feel cherished without being looked down on.
And let me ask you a question. Why do sometimes women call other women that want to celebrate their man or spoil their man or do things nice for their man like a pick-meisha?
Oh, because it's not and that plays into my thing. It's not a natural thing to celebrate your man. It's not natural. That's why they call them pick-me's. The ones who broke and lonely are the ones who lonely and ain't got nobody. They want to talk about how everybody's a pick-me because they are a pick-me. But you ain't been picked yet. It's like being the last kid getting picked in kickball. You want to be picked first. You know you get picked last every time. But there's a hope in your heart that somebody will pick you before the last person's on the court. So you sit up here and you talk about other people who get picked first. You find a way to make yourself feel better.
I've been hearing people call it pick me or pick Nisha.
You find a way to make yourself feel better by tearing down others. It's a natural thing. So they're gonna do it.
Insecure people do that in general, but
no, it's some secure.
It's some people that kind of got like smart with me. For talking about the 50-50 thing, like I would never go 50-50 and I would never pay da-da-da-da and I would do da-da-da-da. And I'm like, I mean, I'm not judging anybody. Like, it's okay if you feel like your man should provide and do everything. You just have to find somebody who is okay with that and understand that that person may lack in other areas. Just because somebody is a good provider doesn't necessarily mean that they'll be a good partner. You'll have everything you need. You'll be able to go shopping, but there's plenty of people in that situation that are not happy in their relationship because they feel like their partner doesn't spend quality time with them because they're always working, or that their partner doesn't necessarily have an intimacy level with them because they're so focused on business, they're not necessarily emotionally intelligent. So you just have to find what works for you. You know what I mean? Or you have that man that does all those things, but he doesn't want to be faithful to you. But he provides, right? So it's like you have to find somebody that's like, y'all have similar beliefs. I think that's very important, having somebody who understands what you feel and what you feel is important and they share similar belief and value. Because if not, you're going to bump heads simply because what you find important is not what they find important. And often we prioritize what we view as important. So you may be begging your partner to like prioritize something that really matters to you, but because it doesn't matter to them, they don't see it as a big deal, and that causes you guys to both bump heads. So I don't know.
Well, the whole question becomes, what are you willing to teach, and what is that other person willing to learn? And how do you teach, and what is their style of learning for your relationship? Men are expected to lead, and if...
Oh, 11/11/99.
That's sad.
That's cool.
That's foul, D. He shouldn't have.
I think pick me's are something else about not celebrating your man, that they will just accept anything. Yeah, now there are some pick me's that just will accept anything because they be desperate to be in a relationship so they can show social media. That's true.
But I mean,
man because he stays cheating on you. Now let me stop being shady. LOL. Oop. The girl who said that pay all the bills and her husband would smoke and play the game all day. She went home on her lunch break and found him in their bed with another woman. She beat her up and took him back, but always had something to say about my relationship. We're no longer friends. Well, dang.
I can't even remember what point I was at.
D, that's horrible. We were talking about pick Mishas?
No, I was. Oh, the teaching.
Teach and learn.
So it's the whole thing of how does that person learn, and how do you teach?
This tastes just like that drink.
What the whole question becomes where it stands on your ranking system of what's important and what you can let slide, and how that can be communicated. I think that's one thing that folks probably can be better about as far as that communication aspect. And I think now that love languages, I'm really sick and tired of that phrase. If I didn't have to hear it again so much, I'd be fine with it. I feel like that has altered so much stuff with everybody talking about their love language. Before we talked about our love language, we talked about what we liked, what we didn't like, and how it made us feel. I wish we could go back to that. Because all this love languages and read this book and read this author and do this and do that. Just talk.
I'ma just be single.
Just talk. Say what you want.
Alicia, it's okay to be single though.
Ain't nothing wrong with being single.
It's good to be single for a while because it's gonna help you find yourself and figure out what you want. I love languages.
Like love languages, and the whole. I had an issue with that whole book though.
I think it makes sense though.
Love languages are fine, but you're not teaching.
Even if you don't have the ones that the guy put in the book, the point of it is understanding that everybody doesn't desire love to be represented and presented the same way.
But what I'm saying is the same time we read that book, I voiced my first opinion of most of the stuff he was writing was based more so for women than men.
But babe, what I'm saying is literally what I was just saying a few minutes ago. It's important to understand what's important to the other person.
Right, and I'm saying that
will help you love them accurately.
But I'm saying that comes in a lot more than talking. But what happens is when most guys read that book and you read the examples, it's not something that's supposed to benefit the guy. It's not. Most of these writing books, these guys, because that's what it is, the guys who write these books are not writing to tell you how to treat your guy.
Maybe 30-70. I don't know about 50-50, but he also makes more than me. Yeah, honestly, if you make more, I'm going to expect you to do more.
It's different, but you can't get mad when he say he also expects you to do more in a different department.
What's the different department?
Why should it matter? You're expecting him to pay more money.
You make more money.
Right. So
why
if
should
I
we pay the same if you make more money?
Right,
and you're the man and you're the leader of the family.
So if I make more money, should it really matter what category I'm asking? I'm providing, making sure we straight. So why does it matter what category? I'm the one who has to do it.
Yeah, what category?
It don't matter. I'm the one who got to pay it no matter what. So why does it matter what category it's coming from?
Because it depends on what it is.
Why? It don't matter what he got to pay. If it go up or not.
If you're going to pay the same but you making more money, are you going to clean more? Are you going to hire a maid with the extra money so I can do less? Because that's what I'm saying.
That's fine. If we're saying I'm going to clean more and
are we going to go on more vacations with the extra money? Like, how is that going to be more beneficial?
Okay, so what are you going to do if he's paying extra money? What are you going to do?
We can
Because
plan. I can plan more vacations.
No,
for
no, no,
us.
no, no, no. You're talking about what's matter for you. What are you gonna do that's extra for him? Not you.
Chores.
No, not chores.
I can go
No,
part-time and do more chores.
outside of the chores, what are you gonna do? You want him to still cook, you want him to still clean, you want him to take care of the kids, you want him to do the same stuff you do and pay the money.
No,
so what more are you
pay
doing
more
for
money.
him?
I want you to pay more
okay,
money.
cool.
And then
So you want him to pay more
I
money.
can pick up something else around the house. But
so what else are you gonna do? That's the question.
You can do less of chores, and I can start picking up some of them because you might be
Yeah,
working
so
more.
it's only gonna work for a little while that he's really gonna be able to do less of chores without it being an issue. Because at that point, that becomes a nagging point. Why am I hiring a maid with the extra money? You have the extra money. No, if I'm paying more of the bills, why the hell am I hiring a maid?
If you're saying that
I'm saying if I'm paying extra
bills, the extra bill can become that you hire
I'm saying that I'm paying extra bills already. What are you gonna do extra outside of just saying I'm gonna pick up most stuff around the house? Because eventually you're gonna get to a point where you still want me to pick up most stuff around the house because I live here too and it's my environment. And you saying you gonna say at some point you get tired of paying.
If the man is paying most of the money, then the women are doing most of the household chores.
That's not facts.
Before you're 50-50 and y'all are both doing the same amount of work, but if you start doing more financially,
that's not,
and she doesn't have to work as much, that means she can do the stuff around the house because she's not working 40 to 50 hours a week.
That's not
it's
facts.
Different if you're working 50, 60 hours a week. And she's a stay-at-home mom. She has a whole week to do everything around the house.
But that's not factual.
She might get tired sometimes and ask for you to help out. You might have a seasonal job and she might help out. But the whole thing is she has more time to do those things because she's not paying bills and working full-time just like you are. What? Why you been saying Yosha the whole time?
I heard exactly what you said.
Were you listening while you was talking?
Yes.
Because it didn't seem like it.
So what I'm gonna say is I'm gonna go back to this.
Hold on. It's true. He expects a little more out of me, if you know what I mean.
Why don't you read them out loud? I'm just asking.
So everybody can hear it and understand. If a man makes $60K and a woman makes $30K, then the man should pay more bills. Exactly. You should.
Right.
LOL, Inez. What if y'all work around the same time? Then who's gonna clean?
So my thing is, you're saying
after
that
work, I guess, Alice.
It would be natural for that to happen. I can tell you this: if we're talking about the man who makes more money, provides, and gets more respect, we've seen our parents and
hey, Kara, I don't even know when she got here. We was just going in.
So my biggest thing is even listening to parents and grandparents talk about how dad made more money and provided, but mom truly ran a household. That's how stuff works. That's not submission.
Oh.
That's not submitting. If you talking about he pays most of the bill, he takes care of everything, he's a provider, but then it's supposed to be his household.
Alice said, I guess we go hire, Inez said, I guess we go hire a maid. We got to, because I ain't finna do it.
What I'm saying is we've heard for generations and generations how the man provided and did everything else. But truth be told, although he was supposed to be in the lead and making decisions, mom was the one who was saying what was going to happen. And even if he went outside of that, even though he's supposed to be the one leading, she was going to have an issue with it, and the whole house revolved around what mom said. That's not submission. That wouldn't even be teaching it the right way. But that's been what's happening for decades and decades and decades. Dad makes the money. Dad does all the child rearing. So when mom has a problem with child, hey, I need you to come whip his butt. But by all means, when you want to give instruction, make sure you clear it with me first. How does that make sense in the book of Christianity that we're talking about? If dad is supposed to be the one who leads household and dad is making decisions, but mom
is the rock of the family.
I don't care. She's not leading. She's not supposed to lead. So how does she fall into her role?
I really think that you're missing the point.
No, I'm not. I just gave you a clear example. No, my role is I lead. So why is that I say stuff, but my wife comes behind me?
Are you honoring your wife at the same time, or are you just leading?
Hold on. Where does it say I have to honor my wife instead of outside of making sure I do my duties as a man and provide and protect, and to make sure I'm not committing to infidelity? Where does it say I need to honor my wife in my decision making? That's not how that works. I make the decisions. She follows and lead.
Hold on.
It's not me honoring her. That's not how that works. Not written in that book.
Let me see.
He don't consult her on decisions. It's nice to, it's considerate, but he's the lead. So my whole thing is, at what point is that supposed to happen? He's the head. They say she's the neck. I don't agree with that. My whole thing is, if you're the head and it's your decision and she follows, she follows. When it's time for her to be in the lead and it follows, you follow. But the whole thing is, at the end of the day, it's his decision to go forward, and he's the one who will be crucified. If we're talking about standing in front of God, he's the one who takes that, not her. She's spared because he's the household. Even when she falls out of line and he's at fault with God, she does not take that, he does. So at that point, he's the one who makes those decisions.
It does say, now as the church submits to Christ, so
the
also
wife
should
shall
submit to their
submit
husband.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
But
the
I'm
book
looking for where it says about how you're supposed to treat your wife as well.
It says you honor your wife, you treat her with love, and you make sure you're not.
Exactly.
You treat her with love, right?
You
it does
honor
not
your
say.
wife and treat her with
no,
love. That's the part I'm
you
looking
honor your
for.
wife in saying that you treat her with love, you respect, and you do not commit infidelity.
It's
not saying that
her
she
does not
has
mean
any
that
decisions.
you just boss her around and you don't.
No, what it means is
respect.
that so if we're talking about in the time that this was written, she did not have a say. So we're talking about a 2,000-year conversion. That's what we're talking about. We're talking about converting it to modern times, which is what I've been saying the whole time. Mm-hmm. In that time, she did not have a say-so. It was on him, and she followed accordingly. And she would voice her opinion and say she did not like it, but the next decision that came was from him, and he was the one who dealt with said consequences, not her. He is the umbrella. If we're following the umbrella, it's him and then her wife. No, it says honor your husband and love your wife so much that God loved the church. You do not have, I don't think it's honoring your wife. Love your wife as God loved the church. But either way, he's still the decision maker. But if we're saying we're converting it to 2021, then yes, you should consult. But if we're saying we're talking about biblical times, back when Christ was walking around, that wasn't how that was interpreted. So it's a difference. But going back to the root of all of it, at the end of the day, if you're supposed to lead, if I'm supposed to lead, but then you lead, guess what's happening? You're not going to take the punishment for that. He is. He's the one who's going to have to answer to God for why that went wrong, because he's considered head of the household. Ergo, he's responsible for all decisions made here. It's on him.
That D the neck for sure. I just think it's important to be on the same page in parenting. It is. Because if not, your child will use y'all against each other because he or she will understand that y'all are not on the same page. Don't you agree with her being the neck if you want to be the head of the household?
But it's not for her to be the neck.
Be the neck for sure. And it says honor your bride like God did the church.
It says
I don't think the Bible
wife.
says to honor your wife at all. It talks about loving her and not committing adultery.
Right.
But that's
it's not to honor her.
So I might have the words wrong, y'all. I'm looking about the husband traits now.
But either way, the difference is that once we start looking at modern, husbands are not valued anymore. Husbands are not seen as necessary. When that was written, husbands were deemed necessary.
I guess I need to read my Bible more, y'all, because I'm getting it wrong. Hold on.
So, even now, you talking about 2,000 years later, it's very different.
Let's see.
Depends. Is it a person? It depends if it's a decision that affects me or if it's a decision that has the way and the reason to affect her. If it's not an honor, yeah, D, but I would also want her to be the one who helps pay bills too. But Alicia, but the Bible don't say that. I want her to honor me because that's what we're saying. But it would also say that I'll be the one having to pay the bills and be on the line if something should happen and the wrong decisions are made. So we talking about two different things. But yeah, I would consider her things based on what it's for.
Wait. 1 Peter 3:7. Likewise, husbands, live with your wives in an understanding way, showing honor to women as the weaker vessel, since they are heirs with you of grace of life, so that your prayers may not be hindered. So you are supposed to honor your wife.
No, you're interpreting that wrong. Do you make sure when you say honor your wife, to honor your wife as she is the weaker vessel? Meaning,
either way,
do you know what that means? It means that you understand.
I'm supposed to lean on you.
No,
because I'm weaker.
No, it means that she understands that you are the decision maker, and ergo, your word is the one that goes.
That's not what that says.
So what would the weaker vessel be? You're the weaker physical physical
Google it.
vessel.
Hold on.
Okay,
I'm about
you're the
to
weaker
Google it.
physical vessel, but it would not mean he's consulting you on decisions. It would be different if you sat up here and said he's not leading, but if he's the leader,
Alicia,
he's going that way. And she's supposed to honor, submit, and obey. But the difference is we understand now in times that's not going to happen so much. It's different. And it's not written the same way for the same reasons. But it also goes into now why husbands are not valued. If you're saying you don't have to value him because y'all make the same money and what good does he provide to you, you don't have to follow him. You don't have to value him. So when you're walking into a relationship, you don't even care 9 times out of 10. Because if it don't work, I'll just go back to doing what I was doing. I don't need him.
I tend
It's different.
to my husband. I tend to make my husband make the decisions. If I feel he's about to make a huge mistake, I'll say something. But I like that he asks for my opinion.
It's not
I know my birthday is in 5 minutes.
Like what y'all are trying to do is what guys are saying.
But would you consider your wife's opinions before making a decision?
So my biggest thing is, yeah, I would now modern day. What I'm saying is, what you're saying is he's the one who's supposed to lead, make decisions, pay the money and everything else. But now what you're saying is in him leading, you want him to double back and go against what God's written. You don't want, what y'all want is, which is more so, I'm sure what feminism.
Y'all comments are so funny.
I'm sure this is what feminism centers around. You want him to provide and protect and pay all the bills, but you want to make the decisions too.
Yes, Kara, get you a maid. I keep telling Des I want somebody else to clean up. I'm tired.
You want him to pay the bills, not make the decisions. You want to make the decisions, but you want him to fall in line. No. You want to know why I say that? Because most of the time, if he's making a decision you don't want to agree with, you will flip the whole discussion and make it about what you want, and he will be feeling the bad guy. You want to know what the difference is? Most of your friends will come around, well, hey, if you had just did this, she wouldn't be so mad at you. Or, you know she mad at you because you did this. That is where that comes from. You want him to be a man in money only. That's what most women want. You want him to be a man in money only. You want to make the decisions. You want everything to be about you. You want him to honor you and make sure you're happy. Ergo, how we got the discussion, happy wife, happy life.
Happy spouse, happy house.
Right, but that's not what's naturally said. That took forever to come out. For the longest, and even men got so brainwashed as I said, happy wife, happy life.
I'm not a feminist. Hate me if you want, ladies. I don't hate you.
Because they'll sit up here and say...
And then, okay, wait. Alicia said you don't think husbands are valued or dads. Do you not like
they're not valued?
Hello,
they're not valued at the same level. If we're in an equal partnership and you want him to lead, they're never valued the same.
Alicia, what do you disagree with?
Men and women.
I know. 4 more minutes, y'all. Can I be 27 for another year? I don't want to be 28.
Chris Rock had the best part.
I'm just kidding. Yes, I do. I want my life.
He had the best conversation in one of his stand-ups. And one of the first things he said is, women and children are loved unconditionally. Men are loved based on what they can provide. And that is the truest statement you can make because that's facts. You will have homeless women and children who receive every grant in the world. You'll make sure homeless women and children are taken care of. But you will not do the same through a man because the whole thing that the Bible says is a man who does not work does not eat. So that means you're saying that as a society, we don't have to care about our men because they can't work and can't eat. But for nothing and for no other reason, always make sure that your women and children are protected. So when you get to Father's Day, if we're going in there to the same thing, it makes no difference. Right, men are loved for what they can provide. If a man cannot provide, he will not be loved. A woman can think he's cute all day and night, but once she gets to the point to where he's become a burden, no matter how cute he is, if he can't provide nothing to pay a bill, 9 times out of 10, she don't want nothing else to do with him. But the woman, the gold digger, the cheater, the one who has absolutely nothing to offer. The remix from Chris Style from Boondocks when she was trying to date Granddad is the prime example of no matter what a woman does, they will be loved, they will be protected no matter what. I didn't say they only want men for their money. I said men are valued for what they can provide. You have to be able to provide something because the first thing a woman's family will say when he ain't got no job is why you dating that bum. It ain't that she gonna say, well, he love me and he doing this and he doing that. They don't care at all. They love Yeah, when we talking about these women who have absolutely nothing to offer, i.e. my example from Boondocks, when Cristal, who had nothing to offer, started dating Granddad, who was living on fixed income, and she was cleaning the crap up. She was not missing nothing. Cristal had new clothes. Cristal had stuff she can't afford. She had groceries. She had everything. She had absolutely nothing to offer Granddad. Granddad had everything to offer, and he got nothing out of it at the end of the day. He got drug along. So that's what she had a job, but he saw nothing from it, which is going back to my earlier argument. What did he see from what she made? Because that wasn't even her money that she was making. That was a pimp named Slickback's money. She just wasn't for her cut. So that's what I'm saying. It's not the same thing. She had nothing to offer, but she got the best out of it.
Everybody's like, happy birthday. Brandy, you're still here.
In general, you have women who like to date men for their money.
Is it 12 o'clock? Okay,
Happy
now
birthday.
my computer says happy birthday. Thank you.
But you have women who are definitely known for dating men with money.
I love you guys. Thank y'all for bringing in my birthday with me. We're not getting off yet, but thank you.
And even now, let's look at who's the guy who Bezos.
You back though, and that's all that matters. We've been sitting here talking about relationships the whole time.
And
hi, pretty mysterious. Thank you.
And we can't even talk like it don't happen. A whole NBA franchise got sold.
Why would you be with somebody that's broke? I would be with somebody that was broke if they got broke after I was with them. I wouldn't want to be with somebody that was broke as a single person going into something.
So we're talking about gold diggers in the sense of we saw a whole NBA franchise sold because a gold digger leaked the tape.
What?
We saw the whole thing with the Clippers' former owner, the older white guy who released the tape, and he made a bunch of racist comments on it.
Thank you.
I can't think of his name right now.
Oh, thank you. I see it. It just came through. I can't do it because I'm streaming on here, but I got it.
Shawty did it. She was probably, as Steve Mongo and Michael say, she was on scholarship.
Good night, Kira. Thank you for coming.
And she sat up there and leaked the whole tape. And basically, the dude had to end up selling his team because nobody in the NBA wanted to do business with him. And his wife sat up here and sued the girl for the. On top of them making $2 billion, they sued old girl for messing up him owning the team. But either way, hustlers, gold diggers, whatever. What do you call a dude who's dating a woman because she got money? I'll wait because I doubt you call him a hustler. You don't call a dude who's dating a woman for money a hustler. I promise you don't.
No, it's a gold digger, right?
Right, so why is gold digger not appropriate when I'm talking about women?
It's a sugar baby now, my bad.
Sugar baby, gold digger, it's all the same.
Sugar baby sounds better though. It has like a connotation.
I mean, when we look at
like
your job
businesswoman.
When we look at the job description, it's all the same thing.
No.
Yes, it is. Sugar baby, gold digger, it's all the same.
Sugar baby is like an escort. You know, it's like companionship.
No, she's not.
For granddad.
No, she's not. Because in the world of guys, a sugar baby and a gold digger are the same thing. He's looking for one thing, and it's not your intelligence.
A man will get with a single mom for shelter and food. A bum.
Right. So why won't you call her a bum? Because that's what she is. She has nowhere to stay. She has no money. She probably ain't got enough money to put ground turkey in a doggone refrigerator. But she dating a dude who can take her to, but she dating a dude who can take her to eat filet mignon and drink champagne. She's a bum. That's what she is. She's a bum. But she has a vagina, so she's celebrated.
No,
if we gonna tell the truth, that's what it is. She has a vagina. She's celebrated. Even the most bugger wolf woman will be celebrated if she's bugger wolf.
Baby,
night
rude.
fighter. She can be a night fighter, and some dude will celebrate her. She can be ugly as all outdoors. Bowling shoot Sasquatch ugly, and there's a dude. Really, have you not looked at adult entertainment genres? Are you serious?
I have.
Right.
Women with good looks can get away with that. You cannot be ugly.
There are genres
That's why do you
there
think
are
why do you think
genres
all
of
these
ugly-
women why do you think all these women are getting these BBLs and look exactly the same?
Yo, so
you
why do
can't
you
just
think
look any kind of way and pull that.
Yo, so that's
you
a
have
lie.
to be like a
That is a
vixen.
lie. That
you
is
have
a
to
lie.
be like a vixen.
Yo, so that's a lie.
It's not.
Yes, it is.
It's really not.
Yo, so you have a category of adult entertainment that appeals to women eating and getting fatter.
Yeah.
Right, there are all containments of things, and when you get to the point of guys truly believe there's somebody out there for them.
So
my thing
in that
is,
case,
once they reach the bottom of the barrel, they're still going to be celebrated.
Fetish. That's a
No,
fetish.
No,
I'm not talking about that.
No, it's
You're
not.
talking about the ballers and shot callers.
I'm talking about
They're
even
not
the
dating
broke
that fat
dudes
girl
will
that's
date
on
buggaboos.
OnlyFans that people are paying
Even the
$9 a month to subscribe to.
It don't matter.
I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about in general. When you think of a man with caliber, he looks for a woman. We can talk about Portia for a minute.
You ain't even worried
Simon,
about Portia.
he didn't pick no fat woman,
No, he picked what was convenient. It's right there in front of you.
A beautiful woman.
It don't
with
matter.
a nice body.
Yo, sir.
That's the point I'm trying to tell you.
You want to know? I'll
So you're wrong.
No,
when
I'm
you
not.
say
What does
women-
Usher's ex-wife look like?
I don't know.
Look up Usher's ex-wife. Yes, you do, because she don't look like Chili. He went from dating Chili to being with that because he got her pregnant.
Usher was 21 when he dated Chili.
Yosha, look at who his baby mama looks like. It is. Yo, how is it not?
Because Usher was 21.
It doesn't matter. He was cheating
Usher cheated on Chili.
Right, for who?
I don't know.
Look, okay, hold on.
He was a rapper, probably anything.
No,
Hi, Soror, happy birthday.
Let me pull up.
I mean, wait, it's my birthday. I've been drinking. I'm sorry. Thank you. Do you hate women, Des?
No, but what I'm gonna say
if
is,
we gonna tell the truth, the proof is on TikTok. What do you mean, pretty mysterious? The proof of what is on TikTok? Which part are you talking about? Oh Lord, not Portia, girl. Portia is beautiful, but do you think that man would have wanted her if she looked like not attractive? I don't think so.
Bruh,
and I've heard this a lot. A lot of men try to get success so that they can get any woman, quote unquote, that they want.
Right.
And they always go for the prettiest woman. Listen. And it's not always a woman that has a lot of stuff to bring to the table, but just a woman that's visually and aesthetically pleasing.
Do you want to know why?
That's fetish side.
No, it's not. It's status. It's
right.
status. Right.
It's not about love.
It's not fit. Right. That's what I'm saying. But you cannot find a dude who can level up like that. If he looks like Fat Albert, do you really think he has a chance of dating Beyonce?
No.
Okay, so that's what I'm saying. Any woman, dudes can have any kind of fetish. Even the women who are not deemed cute in Hollywood, there are men out there with money who will still date them. Still date them. There's no ugly dude in Hollywood who don't have money who got a cute wife. None. You're not going to find a cute dude 9 times out of 10, a ugly dude who got cute women 9 times out of 10 unless he got money or he funny. Rick Ross was fat and he has a lot of money. He got money.
But Rick Ross isn't ugly in the face though.
Exactly. He was just fat. But my thing is, Rick Ross also got fetishized before he lost weight because Rick Ross had what? Paper.
I'm sorry.
He got money.
I've never been a woman that would date a man because of how fine he is. I've had plenty of fine boyfriends that were not good. It's not the looks for me.
We're not just talking about you. We're not just talking about you.
I understand. Some women will be with whoever has money, and that's different. But for me personally, I've never dated somebody just
DJ Khaled, money. Fat Joe, money. Flavor Flav, residual money.
Flavor Flav is the perfect example.
You talking about
Fat
money.
Joe isn't ugly either, though.
Exactly. He's not ugly.
He's overweight, but he's not ugly.
But that's my thing. What ugly guy besides Flavor Flav?
Flavor Flav is not cute.
And how much money does he? Flavor Flav still got money because you still have Public Enemy records selling.
There is a woman out there for any man. A lot of a bad chick not getting picked. This the women who women think are incapable of men of certain looks or caliber.
Exactly. But my thing is, you cannot find too many ugly guys that ain't funny and don't have money with cute women.
Yeah, because cute women usually want cute men.
Right, but the thing is, you will find plenty of dudes who
Why
are cute with ugly
why
women.
can't the guy that's ugly, well, whatever ugly is, look for a woman that's also, you know,
Hold
average
on,
or ugly like
why
him?
he gotta look for that? Because you got plenty of ugly women who date cute men.
So why does the woman that's beautiful, knows that she's beautiful, has been told that she's beautiful, want to settle for a man that is not attracted to her?
Cause she broke, she ain't got no education, her food stamps running out, and she ain't got nowhere to stay. And at that point, she's fine. But at that point, a dude who can be cute, ain't got nowhere to stay, food stamps running out, baby mama done put him out because he ain't paid child support, he ain't gonna have nowhere to stay because she gonna spread the word on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and anywhere else that he a bum, he cheat, and he broke. Ergo, all of his doors closed. Men and women are not treated the same when it's talked about being fetishized. It's not the same. Fat guys don't get fetishized until it get cold outside. And it's only because it's cold and she ain't got heat.
It's some women that love plus size.
Some, but fat men are not.
Most of the men I've dated have been plus size.
Okay, not being
I've
funny.
had one skinny boyfriend.
Who's the last fat guy you've seen that's ugly and
See, you can't be both now.
See, right,
you can't
you can't be fat and ugly. What I'm saying is, guys don't get to be both. You can't be fat, ugly, and unfunny. It don't work. You can't be fat, black, and unfunny.
Y'all are mean to ugly girls too.
Y'all are mean to ugly dudes.
And
y'all are worse.
Y'all still sleep with these girls.
Y'all are worse.
Because they have something to prove, even if though you're not attracted to them. I've seen it.
Y'all are worse.
I'm not. I am.
Women are definitely worse. Look at Biggie had faith because Biggie had money.
My morals will never let me get wet for somebody that I'm not attracted to.
Pretty mysterious. Who did Biggie have when he was sewing alligators on his shirt? When he was stealing chocolate milk? Who was dating Biggie then?
I can't get wet for somebody I'm not attracted to. I'm just telling you, I cannot. So it's not about the money for me. It never has been.
It ain't for you. Do you know how many women will lay there and fake it?
I can't.
It's so many women that will lay there and fake it.
I would have to be so intoxicated.
Yo, so you gotta start that or the thing is gonna freeze. Here. Well, that's in your end of the thing. Never mind. But
what happens if we do this?
You gonna have ugly.
Now you do it.
You don't. You're on the. It's on the wrong end.
It looks jacked up.
You gotta kind of flip that in order to make it work.
Okay, y'all, we on 20%.
You
don't
keep
it over here. Just lay there and close your eyes, baby. Power bill to next week. I can't. I'm sorry.
How many dudes do you think can really be broke and go out there and sell booty and really get over? It was
frozen because my phone told me that I got 20% left. So it was like, do you want to go to low battery mode?
Like, I say it like this. Any woman, and not being disrespectful rude, any woman can get out there and sell her body and make something.
It's a man that can sell their body.
Yeah,
too.
it's not every dude who can get out there and sell his body and make money.
I know plenty of bums that can get girls because of their body and they look.
Plenty, but I'm saying you got just about every woman. This woman can be missing both of her legs and she can still make money selling her body. Because there's some dude out there that wants it. Some.
That's a damn shame.
You can't do that as a dude. You can't go out there and sell your body to everybody. You can't go out there and sell your body to everybody.
My husband has said, let's see, that before women live life on easy mode.
Listen, you don't even get respected in certain laws that were made. You don't even get the same respect on that. You just don't. Certain laws that should protect everybody don't always protect men.
Okay.
And that's that one topic you say you don't want to touch on. But what I'm saying is when we're saying equality, you don't really want, most women don't really want equality. They want that leg up that they think all these men have. Not realizing that most men don't have a leg up. Most men
that are... Chubby Self-Diff, OnlyFans, that's what OF is, for a few months and made $800 a month, not even being fully nude.
Boom.
So I agree with that. So shit, I'm finna get on there, y'all, for my 28th birthday. Hot Girl Summer. Subscribe for feet pictures.
it's one of them things that you just can't. It's
$800 a month, baby. I can go on vacation.
Most people don't.
A couple more times.
A lot of these women don't want equality. They want that leg up they think dudes got, and dudes don't have a leg up.
Babe, can we get on OnlyFans?
So when we talking about that, I don't understand why women think it's such a blessing to be born with something swinging between your legs. I'm trying to understand why y'all don't understand. Y'all have stuff.
Y'all have advantages that we don't too.
Which one?
Y'all don't have to worry about getting pregnant.
No, we have to worry about getting somebody pregnant, being on child support for 18 years, and not even being entitled to see a kid.
But that is not, like, it doesn't happen as often.
No, and you also understand that you can tell somebody, even though you sleep with them, that you're not comfortable having a kid, and it's her decision, even though you said you don't want to do it and do it. It's her body, so it's her rules, but then it becomes your money to pay for the kid.
It was your body, and you could have wore a condom, too.
No. See, and that's a conversation I want to have. Consenting to having sex and consenting to having a kid are two different things.
Absolutely, but it's the pregnant part comes from neither one of y'all wearing protection.
Right, so why is it not hold on.
Meaning her not being on birth control and you not using birth control.
So why is it not both of our decisions before we go forward?
Because she's the one who has to carry the baby.
Right, but I'm the one who got to pay the money when it's had.
Because it's 50% of your baby once it comes out of the vagina.
Right, but that's the thing. I never consented to having the baby.
If the baby doesn't come out of the vagina, then
you don't
have 50%
I never
of
consented to having the baby.
You didn't consent to having the baby, but it's not something that you can physically decide.
So why is it decided? Hold on. So why is it decided that if I've already said I don't want the baby, why the hell am I paying money?
Because when the baby comes out, it's genetically 50% of yours.
No, because I already said
what you consented on.
No,
your sperm is the consent.
No, my sperm is no. Oh no. If that was the case, we wouldn't have no. If that was the case, no, it is that serious. It's that serious. No, it's that serious.
Hey, Sarah, thank you.
No, it's that serious. That's not how that should work.
Once the baby is here, it's 50% yours, whether you said you wanted it or not. It's different if the woman is carrying the baby.
No, it's not.
Because it is though, because it's inside of her body. So
but you're hold on.
It's not fair.
Hold on, but you go no. You going in my wallet, but I'm saying no, I don't want it.
It's your baby.
No, it's your baby because at that point I've already said I would like to kill it and abort it, and my decision was not take. No. Okay, I'm gonna go to. Y'all see the Dave Chappelle joke about abortion?
You guys who had the baby together.
No, you decided to have that baby after I consented to having sex with you.
I can't have a baby by myself.
Actually, you consented to have it by yourself once I said I don't want to have it, and you said, "Oh no, I'll take it."
But
and I'm gonna continue to have it. No, you made that decision, and that responsibility 100% yours. You did not care about my decision.
It's not really. It's really not 100% mine because the baby belongs to you.
No, I said you made that decision 100% yours.
Recently, we had to go.
No, unprotected sex is not consent. That's like me saying
we had to go get passports.
You can't reconsent during sex.
And I found out that without the consent of the biological parent, if they're allowed, you have to go through hoops to get a passport for a child. So I say that to say that even if you don't consent, because it's biologically your child, you're still responsible.
So that's just
technically, you're still the person that can get that death certificate, that birth certificate, those social security cards, because that's your child, whether you consented or not.
Do you realize
when the baby is in the stomach, it's different because although it is a human life, if you don't bring that human life out of your body, then you really don't. Unfortunately, you don't have a say so because physically the baby is inside of the mom. So the mom can decide whether she's gonna keep the baby or not. But if she keeps that baby is 50% of you. So she can hold you accountable whether you said you wanted it or not.
So hold on.
Whether you paid for an abortion for her or not, she can choose to keep the baby.
So let me help you and the rest of the women who agree with you on this chat understand. You just argue why they.
Hey Victoria, thank you.
You just argued as to why they outlaw abortion. You do realize that, right?
I guess so.
Because
I still don't think that's right.
Hold on, you don't think that that's right, but you just argued against why you think it's right for men to have decision. The whole thing that they're saying is, once you laid down with that person, whether you did it willingly or not, their nut was the consent for you to have that child. So you don't have the right to have that abortion because it's their consent that they nutted in you. Ergo, it's now your responsibility, whether they're there or not, to take care of that child. You just argued as to why white men feel like abortion should be illegal. You just argued their whole point. Your consent was them nutting in you.
You can twist my words
I'm not,
and say that that's what I'm arguing. I'm just letting you know that in this world, if you have that baby, you and that woman wants to say, no, I need help from her father. that biologically they will and can hold you accountable because that baby belongs to you genetically, whether you agreed to it or not.
See, and that's the thing. And
at the same token, if you as the guy say, I really don't believe in abortion, don't get the abortion. If that woman is like, I don't care, I don't want this baby, you can't make that decision for her because men do not carry babies. So men have no
technically,
business.
Men carry babies longer than anybody.
In their nutsack, sure. But to get the baby to 9 months, 10 months full term, that's a woman. So it should never be up to a man
so
to determine if a woman should keep a baby that she has to freaking carry for 9 months. So y'all will never understand. The reason why we bring it up is because y'all will never understand the way our bodies changes. The way our breasts sag afterwards. The way we have to breastfeed babies for 6 months, 3 months to a year. The way that our body is morphed and changed, that's up to us to decide. Y'all can never make that choice for me. I will never agree with that.
And I will say, you will never understand.
No, I don't.
Hold on, listen. I don't. This.
But once
no.
Once that baby gets here,
listen.
If the mom dies, guess what? They're gonna be looking for you because
no, they're not.
I didn't get the baby by myself.
No, they're not.
Whether you consented to it or
no,
not,
they're not. They're not gonna look for you. The baby's gonna go to foster care. They're not gonna look for you.
But they could look for the dad.
They're not.
The dad
that's not how the system works. But here's the thing. I'll go into this. If you're saying that it's the whole reason of it's her body and it's the whole reason of she gets to determine it, you just proved the point on what Dave Chappelle said. If you get to kill him, we at least get to ban him because it was your decision to keep him. It's our decision whether or not we get to pay for him. Ergo, why you have fathers sit up here and sign over rights to the state that they want nothing to do with the mother and the child because it was not a child that was considered, nor a mother who's considerate of their decision. Ergo, once you get to the time of them wanting to make decisions, y'all call them deadbeat fathers. It's not they always want to be deadbeat fathers. It's the fact that they're mindful of, at any point, if she decides she wants to go and change anything, my life can end because the child support side normally ends with her. The reason why men are so against child support is it's not that it just goes towards the child. It's the fact that once he misses a payment and anything happens, his life can crumble from beginning to end at the bang of a gavel because nobody cares on whether or not the father is out to pay child support. He goes to jail for paying child support, ends up on probation, can't get a job, can't get his license, drive back and forth to work. Ergo, now he's in a relentless cycle because he has a baby mama who thinks that he don't pay enough in child support, when truth be told, he's paying all he got and not living on his own. So child support, when men think about that, they're not being selfish just because they don't want the baby. Ergo, they don't want to deal with you, but there's also a thing of child support and livelihood that comes into it that most women would never have to experience. Because how often do women get charged with paying child support? And when they do, how often is it enforced that they don't go to jail because even though she does not have custody of the kids still need their mom? The system is screwed. The system is screwed. You don't have to care about him, but he always has to care about you. But then you wonder.
I used to envy my fiance just sleeping while I breastfed my baby twice a night while she was a newborn.
I can guarantee you there's no woman alive who would trade having them kids for signing them checks with the possibility of going to jail if she's late. No woman on earth would want to trade going to jail and losing her livelihood for not having to take care of her kids, for making sure that her payment for whatever amount is due every month.
You're not going to go to jail after missing one payment.
Yes, you will.
After one payment?
Yes. Because Yosa, I used to work in that court.
Somebody on child support.
I can tell you that it's
not just one payment.
Yes, it is. You to jail. Yosa, it is. I really had to call. I can tell you, I worked the cases. It was one guy who had. Yes, he literally had his payment of $233.43. He missed it because he didn't get paid on Friday. He got paid on a Tuesday. His baby mama went to court on Monday. He got arrested Tuesday morning before he could pick up his check because it was mandatory that on that Friday, he paid that $233.43. When he missed it, there was a purge amount and a warrant set out for him. He went to jail and lost his job because he was going to pick up his check and could not pay his child support early. Mind you, every month that he missed child support goes towards his purge amount, meaning that he cannot bond out of jail until he pays that child support that's overdue. He cannot pay the child support because he lost his job because he got arrested for not paying it. It is an endless cycle.
Hold on. Your shit is not bothering.
The monetary inconvenience outweighs everything when the monetary convenience leads to you living in a jail cell.
Well, to answer Flowers for real question, I don't know, because, I ain't going to say getting your body redone to get back to the normal way it was before having all them kids is the same as having to pay child support every month.
Is she talking about child or is she talking about us?
But it's expensive because children are expensive. And then, like, if you want to get a mommy makeover or something, that's going to be expensive, too. And, like, if you're not a wealthy person, when are you going to be able to afford to put aside, you know, what is it, if you go to, like, Dominican Republic, Mexico, somewhere, it might be under 5,000. Or if you go in the States, it could be up to 10, 12, 15,000.
That's another situation I can talk about with men and women.
To get your body back how it was, because you don't feel good about yourself anymore. That's something y'all don't necessarily have to experience. Some men do gain weight throughout pregnancy with their wives, but y'all body is not altered in a way
it's
ours
not,
is.
Right, I'm not saying it's altered. What I'm saying is when we're talking,
women lose things too.
Right, but you're not losing your life to being in a jail cell because somebody wanted to complain because there's a vengeance out for not paying child support. You're not having to worry about that. We're talking about a livelihood.
In your story, you said the baby mama complained and got him in trouble.
And there are also times
if y'all are co-parenting in a healthy way, then that wouldn't necessarily happen.
That's not true.
That's not true.
That's not true.
Like,
because you can have it written into it.
It seems kind of petty to arrest somebody after missing one payment.
It's not petty because the whole thing is it's enforcement.
It's one payment.
It does not matter.
You can be late on your damn, what's it called? What is it called? On your house note or something for a couple of days.
But your house note versus paying the government and dealing with the government under a microscope is a different thing. You're talking about credit versus livelihood and law enforcement. He had it really good
because $233 is not a lot.
$233 is not a lot, but if you only make $900 a month, your rent is $450. $233 is a lot.
Your rent is $450. You must be like really in a state that doesn't have a high cost of living.
Or you live in the ghetto.
That's what it sounds like.
So my thing is, if you telling me I make $900 a month, half of it goes to my rent, $233 goes to my kid. What the hell is he living off of? He's not living off of anything. He has no new girlfriend. There is no new semblance of life. Every guy who gets out of a relationship with a kid does not automatically run back to a girlfriend. And I wish people would realize that. Everybody don't turn to no girlfriend.
Or their mamas.
Hell, Alicia, he didn't want to have the kid. He scraped up his money, give her money for abortion, and she decided not to use it. Ergo, he's stuck with a kid.
Yeah, but he loves the kid now.
It don't matter. The kid can still go to jail whether he loves the kid or not.
And a lot of them without any other resources for help. That's true. Because the government doesn't like to help black. The
government don't help men. They don't help poor. No. It's not black men. The government don't like helping poor men. The government don't like helping middle class men. When you broke as a man, nobody cares. It's not like being a woman. Like I said, my example was being homeless. You always see women and children in shelters. Men sleep on the street because why? It's $7 a day for them to go to them shelters. And if you don't pay, you don't get to come back. But also you got to realize there's a line that you have to sign up for every day. So you can have a spot that morning when you wake up and not have one when you got back because you got back late off work. Whether he was having sex with protection or not, either way, the kid is here. The whole thing is, yeah, he was with a woman. He was with the woman. He had a child with her.
Together, not a situation.
They were in a relationship. They broke up. When they broke up, she took him to court. She knew he was not making the money. She knew he was only making $900 a month. He brought in his check statements and said, Your Honor, I really can't afford $233 because I only make $900 a month. What was the answer? The one that most women will have. Go get another job. You work 50 hours a week. You work 50 hours a week to pull in $900 a month. Where do you have other time to go get a job? You don't have nothing else. You scrapping and scrounging at the bottom already. And now somebody else is telling you, even though you work 200 hours a month, go get another job so you can afford to pay $233 in child support. But nobody cares that you pick your child up. Nobody cares that you have your kid. Nobody cares that you show up to her award ceremonies. Nobody cares that you're trying to be a great parent. They want the money because he's loved based on what he can provide. The judge don't care about him and him being a great father. That's not what matters. What matters is what's on that black and white paper. What he makes, what he has to pay. And if you can't pay it, we got a jail cell for you.
Let's be honest, some of these dads paying child support live better, more carefree lives than the moms. too, because they absent. That's true.
You got some, but a lot of these guys who have to pay child support are a lot of these guys who are not middle class. A lot of these guys, even some who are middle class, are scrapping and scrounging to pay child support because child support is going up. I was at the gym the other day and this guy has 3 kids. He pays 2 bills a month in child support, $2,000 a month in child support for 3 children.
Wow, he must make good money.
He takes care of his kids. He takes care of his kids.
He must make good money though, because a person that's making minimum wage will be closer to that $233.
No, you have 3 kids, and it's all based on what mom says she needs.
No.
Not for you because you didn't go to court. But a lot of it is based on the kids' monthly expenses. Do they play sports? Do they have braces? Do they have health defects? Do they need this? Do they need that? How fast do they grow? How much do they need shoes? How often is this? How often is that? All that comes up. And then the whole thing is, once you pay your child support, that doesn't guarantee that you get to see your kid.
No, that's
child support does not.
That's a separate
right,
thing.
and the whole thing is, a lot of judges don't feel like visitation is necessary for you to pay your child support. So on top of you not being able to pay your child support and possibly living in a messed up situation, you don't even get to see your kid, because that's not how that goes. What's not true? Pretty mysterious. It's a lot of judges who do not grant visitation, but grant child support. And then you have fathers who get visitation, but it's supervised visitation that he has to pay for. To have somebody from a company that the court system approves of to watch over him while he has his 30-minute to an hour and a half visit with his kid. So this is what I'm saying. When we're talking about guys and the stuff that they do, if you're telling me that you don't respect the guy's decision on bringing a life into the world because it's your body, how can you sit up here?
The mom gets 33% of their monthly income.
Depending, she can have more depending on what she takes to the judge.
I got just minimum wage amount. So
because he didn't have a job. He didn't have a job.
And that's what I'm saying. If you were speaking to somebody who pays $2,000 a month in child support, that means that they were making a lot.
Okay, money. Are you? So my question becomes,
like from people I know that's on it, like if the man has a good job, they're gonna make him pay more money.
But the thing is, hold on. But the mom has a job.
It doesn't matter.
Why?
Why do people argue with that? It's your child too. It doesn't matter.
Hold on,
it doesn't matter what money she made.
Because
it's still your child. Just because she makes more money doesn't mean the dad shouldn't help pay for stuff.
Nobody said. Hold on.
Agree with
Nobody said that she don't have to take care of stuff. But the difference is,
we're talking. Listen,
it's not all on her.
Especially
if you're telling me,
she
hold on,
the children
Joseph, you're taking 100% of your salary. She's married, so you're taking 100% of his salary, and then an additional 33% of mine. You can't be spending all that shit on a kid. It's 2 adults with a full household. And you telling me y'all are not taking care of kids?
I don't agree with the 33% per se. I'm just saying in general that it doesn't make sense to think that just because a woman remarries or a woman has a job that she shouldn't have help because the man doesn't.
I'm not saying it's no longer.
Those are his kids too.
Yo, sir, I'm not saying she don't matter. I'm not saying she don't need help. She could be putting
the money towards other things that are not related to the kid.
But my whole thing is, it's not that
I gotta go to work in the morning because I ain't got a man to pay my bills. LOL, just kidding. Good night. We finna get off of here too because it's getting late.
It's not the fact that she don't need his help. It's the fact that y'all have 2 other adults plus him. You don't need 33% of his salary when you have 2 adults helping take care of the kids too. That's overkill.
How do we get to 2 adults helping take care of the kids? Was the woman remarried?
I just said, yeah, she's married. So she got remarried.
So she was being petty and she got him arrested and she's married to somebody else?
Yeah, you have women who do that all the time, get remarried and want to hike up child support amount. It's a dig. That's what I'm saying. A lot of dudes in child support, a lot of women get more child support, a lot of them more than what they need and use it on themselves. We've seen it. Even with Dwayne Wade, his wife, he bought his wife $1 million house and was paying child support and she still wound up homeless. How? You have 33% of a NBA ball player's check and you telling me you went broke? How?
Drugs.
Right, but why do you have the kids if you're a freaking drug addict?
Because they gave them to her.
Right, that's my problem. That's my situation though. We're not taking into account what the kid needs. A lot of times we're taking into account what the mom says. what she says she needs. And the thing is, when you come in there with child support, the smartest fathers
Good night. Thank you for joining the live.
the smartest fathers are the ones who make sure they keep receipts, ask for receipts, make sure they look at what they make, what the kids have, and everything else. So when they go back in there and ask for a lower amount, they have evidence. But do you understand how much harder it is for a guy to go in there and justify why it's okay for him to have a lower amount of payment based on what his wife does?
Thank you very much. Thank you so much.
It's different. The only thing I'm saying is when we're talking about how women want to climb up, you're not looking for equality. You're looking for the leg up that most people think men have. Mm-hmm. And most men don't have that leg up. You're talking about...
And you think that we do.
No, nobody has a leg up. And that's what I need people to understand. The people who have the leg up are the people with money.
Yeah.
The people who don't have money are not the people with the leg up. It's like the stupidest thing in racism. If people want to make more money, you don't go against another race. You partner with them to justify why you need more money. But with child support, a woman will take a dig at a man just because I know I'm getting back at him and I got him I'm in his pockets. But then also you have to think the children live with her, so she gets to twist the narrative of what happened, why they got divorced, and why he might not be this, that, and the third. So now they grow up believing her narrative because you start to believe the parent that you're around most because you hear it
Welcome
more.
back, D.
So it's a difference. One of the having children, even other things, most of these laws are not meant to protect men. Men have to spend money to be protected in court.
They do.
And it's never going to be equal because 9 times out of 10, if the woman is somebody who can't really afford an attorney, the state is going to put her with somebody who can fight her case. Mm-hmm. Not his. But he still needs to pay the money. Or if he has money, the state will say, hey, you have an attorney, you need to pay for her to have an attorney too. And an adequate attorney. Happens in divorce all the time.
Wow.
If you have money and you get divorced from your wife, oh, she has medical, she has attorney's fees, you need to pay them attorney's fees. Mm-hmm. But you're paying spousal support and child support and everything else. None of this will ever be equal. And it's not meant to be. We're starting to see a change because now women have been in their social setting that they did not agree with. So now that things are equal, now they have a chance to take a step up. And they're going to do it at all costs, even at the cost of men. Even though we say we need men, when we find men, I don't need him because I'm a strong black woman. But you want somebody to raise your son.
And she gets the house.
And she gets the property. Right. So the thing is, you're footing the bill for something you're not even doing anymore. So going back to our original question, that's why you ask what she brings to the table, because that's how far you can go. Child support, jail, spousal support, losing property. That's why you ask what she brings to the table. Because she has nothing to bring to the table.
She'll take everything away from her.
Exactly. And she won't value any of it because she hasn't had to work for it. So when guys ask, what do you bring to the table? And when they ask, can you cook, can you clean, can you do all this? It's not just because they're being old school, but it's because they have stuff on the line that women will never understand being on the line until they have money. Some women won't understand a man's plight until they have money, because now you're sought after the way men are sought after, because you're viewed as an asset and people want to take you down to go up. But if nobody values you like that, you don't understand that, nor do you care. So that's why guys ask, what do you bring to the table? It ain't always because we need y'all to cook and clean and do everything else. Are you at least willing to try? Because a lot of women are no longer willing to try. A lot of men are learning how to cook and cook better than most women are dating. Because fettuccine Alfredo and nachos and spaghetti has always been an acceptable meal. Or you've been with so many people that have money that now you go out to eat all the time. Nobody ever made you learn how to cook. So now he's asking you to cook and you don't even know how to make instant ramen because you ain't never had to do nothing. But now he got to learn how to cook and raise kids and wash clothes and do everything else. It don't add up and it don't make sense. It's not beneficial to men. What are you willing to lose? It's a business partnership.
Is that why men often say that marriage is not beneficial to them anymore nowadays?
Yeah, because 9 times out of 10, you have everything to lose.
I have to use the restroom, y'all. Do you want to keep talking to them?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, it's
I've been drinking drinks, and we've been here for about a little over 2 hours, and I gotta pee, so I'll be right back.
It's not beneficial because you have to look at what can you lose, and when we're talking about being equally yoked and why women want men that are equally yoked. Once you start to go up in your net worth, you want women who are equally yoked who has as much to lose as you do. It only makes sense because at that point, if she has nothing else to lose and you don't get her to sign a prenup, you can be giving away everything and have nothing to show for it and not even see your property and your kids again. It's happened to some of the most famous people. And it's gonna keep happening because the system's not set up that way. You have to have a bomb attorney in order to make leeway. Nobody cares about men once you get over 18. Nobody has to. And that's why women ask why you love your mama so much. 9 times out of 10, your mama and your daddy are the only ones who gonna love you that way. That's why most men they favor women not in a sexual way, but in a platonic way, even in family, is their mom. That's the person who has their back. And she's the only woman who's most of the time, she's the only woman guaranteed to continue having their back throughout life until she takes her last breath. She's the only one. So when you talk about entering into relationships, I mean, I remember talking to friends and older guys who are married. It's a business. That's what it is. It's business. And if folks don't think about it, look at Linda Gates. How much money is Linda Gates going to make off getting her divorce? She's going to be a billionaire. Jeff Bezos' wife got divorced. Helped him a lot, but got divorced. And now you have to go get my other portable charger.
Hold on, y'all. I'm just adjusting this so that I can charge my phone.
I'll go get it.
I can reach it. You don't have to get it. I can reach my...
That one's dead.
I can reach my cord. It's behind the couch.
You don't have to scratch it anymore.
I know, but I can plug it into my laptop.
Okay.
Hold on. I'm back. Y'all was holding it, and I didn't want to just hang up because y'all was talking. But it's about to die, and I don't want it to die. So I get my charger. I didn't know we were going to go past midnight, but I'm not complaining. I might be sleepy tomorrow, but it's all right. It's my birthday. It's my birthday. Hey, it's my birthday. Yeah, I don't want it to die. I'm trying to get my charger in here. Okay, and then scoot it back over so it's not awkward. Hold on. Boom. Okay. Tighten it. It's like in an awkward place. Okay. I got it hanging off in a weird way so I can plug it into my computer. And even if it's on charger, it'll keep it from dying. What did I miss? What was y'all talking about when I went to the restroom? What was y'all talking about? What are my plans for my birthday? Oh, I'm on 1%. How about Jeff Bezos' wife is getting so much from their divorce?
She's getting it because I don't think there's a prenup.
You can't hear me?
Place.
Can you hear me now?
Is your volume up?
It's a mute.
Make sure your volume's up.
Can y'all hear me now?
She said she can.
She can hear me now. Okay. I don't know what happened. I was pressing stuff trying to get the charger
in.
in.
About how women build up a man. Once he gets to a certain point in his glow up, he leaves.
Okay, you can hear me. Okay.
After.
We're going to start coming back more often. I was like, baby, can you come on live with me for my birthday? Because your dad stopped coming.
It's a part of who he was already, but he's probably also seen some traits on her that he doesn't agree with. And like I was saying earlier, you voice your opinion and yet nothing changes because she feels like she doesn't need to. So what do you do once you get on and you realize she's not going to change it? You're not going to be happy and you can lose more money, you leave. I'm not... The investment that was made was for the time that was spent. She got as far as she could go because where we were as far as me as a man trying to lead and her not wanting to follow was not going to work with me. If it's not going to work when we don't have money, it's not going to work any better when we do have money. It's going to be worse because now she's entitled. She thinks that my money is her money. And that's not how the way that works. She hasn't worked for any of it. She doesn't have a title yet. And even if she does, like I said, 9 times out of 10, guys either are that way before the beginning. Right, it's cheaper to keep her because at that point, what you start to lose is way less. So if you don't plan on being with her and you're starting to trend up, it's time to cut bait because she's not gonna come along because 9 times out of 10 he's already pointed some stuff out and she don't care to fix it. So why should he stay? Like women say, if you see you asking him he ain't fix it, why are you staying? Why should he stay if he sees that what he's saying, suggesting, saying he don't like is not changing? And he's going upwards. She has nothing new to offer, but he's supposed to stay just because she was there during the downtime. You don't want to adjust with anything else, but you feel like you're entitled to some money. I'm asking you to do stuff where he's probably asking her to do stuff where he wouldn't have to want. She wouldn't have to want. But you don't want to fall in line with the program because you don't feel like you have to. You feel like everything he get is supposed to be yours. It's not that way. You can't come into a relationship feeling entitled, not wanting to work, not having nothing to offer, and then you talking about he can't leave because I did this during his come up phase. What? Or you don't want to be there. Or
Well,
women
I can
would
understand why a woman would want to be entitled to some sort of compensation if she held him down and helped him get to where he was gonna get to.
If he held her down, would he be entitled to anything?
Possibly.
Why is it a possibly if she's entitled automatically?
Because
he did the same thing, played the same role. Why is he only possibly included?
I don't know, but I think that I can understand why the woman would feel that way because she might have sacrificed things and lost out on things trying to be there for him.
Right, but what happens if he's done the same thing? Why is he only possibly going to be compensated?
I guess if he pursues it, it's more likely for women to pursue that from the man than
But
for
how
men
can you
to go and
but
pursue it from the woman.
How can you pursue that if you ain't married and you don't live in a common law state? What are you pursuing? You're not entitled to anything.
I don't know.
You just living there. You don't work.
It's also the right thing to do. You think?
No, most women when
Like
they
why?
come up,
Why you feel like it's not the right thing to do if you supported them?
Would
all
you as a
along?
woman, if somebody has supported you the whole time they were there, and you decided you wanted to leave, and would you really feel like they're entitled to some of your money that you worked and earned?
Maybe.
Why is it maybe, but it's supposed to be definite?
It depends on, no, it's not definite. It just depends on how we fell out. Like if it was
Hold
a
on,
mutual
why is it? Oh,
understanding.
no. They're asking not because of why you fell out, but because they feel like they were a part of your success. Why does it matter how you fell out? If you feel like, if you feel like she's owed money based on stuff, why is it
infidelity or something like that?
Yo, sir, we're not talking about infidelity.
I am, because
But that's your first thing. We're
that
not.
would make
Don't
me not necessarily feel like you deserve.
We're not
anything.
going to the worst thing. We're going to
no.
Okay, y'all decided to break things off.
Is a possibility. So
we're going to y'all.
It depends on why we broke things off.
Y'all broke things off because you feel like you're trying to.
And you're tearing me down. I shouldn't give you anything because you need to get.
He's not breaking up with her because leaving her because he has a drug addiction. He's leaving her because he's trending upward, and he sees that she has no desire to. And a lot of women would do the same thing. They will see that she will feel like he don't have no potential and he don't have nothing going. So I'ma level up because he's dead weight. You don't feel like you owe anything to him for him being dead weight. Why does she feel like she's entitled to something because she's been dead weight? You've been dead weight. Why are you entitled to anything? You've done nothing.
But we just said that she was instrumental.
Okay, so why do you? Okay, so even if she's
I feel like if
instrumental,
a person is instrumental to the success, then they should be rewarded.
So my question becomes, why was your first?
If you wouldn't have had that person by your side, you wouldn't have get there.
So
if the person is instrumental to the success,
okay, so
not just around.
No, my
being
first
around
question
and being instrumental to the success is two different things.
My first question would then be, if that person was instrumental, why were your first two answers possibly and maybe?
Because maybe he wasn't instrumental to the success.
No, we're talking about, you just said, if the person was instrumental to your success, why would it be a possibility?
If the person is instrumental to the success, then you should compensate them for it.
Right, you should,
but
you should, but most men won't be. But most women will be. But my question is, why would you not fight for a man to have the same equality as women if women are saying they're fighting for equality?
We're fighting for equality for ourselves.
Right, that's not equality.
It's
that's
not
feminism.
It's not our journey to fight for your equality.
Hold on, no,
it's
but
our journey
hold on.
to fight because we've never been considered equal.
Time out.
to you
Pause.
guys.
Pause. Last summer,
We're not
no, we talked about
It's
this.
nothing to
Last
pause
summer
about.
was the whole thing of protect black women.
It's nothing
no,
to pause
it is.
about
It
because
is.
we're fighting for our own.
Right,
this
but
movement
that's
is not about you.
No,
it's our
it is.
Movement. It's not.
The Me Too
You're
movement.
misunderstanding.
No, I'm
because
not.
Our movement that has nothing to do with you guys.
How not? When you're
it's
basic,
about us.
you want to know why I can tell you that's not true? I can tell you that's not true because your whole basement of the thing is men changing their actions. You're dependent on men to change their actions.
You keep bringing up like the subject that I'm saying don't bring up. Me Too.
I'm not talking about Me Too. I'm talking. No, I didn't. Even in the world of business, you want to know what most people are asking for and who they're going after? They're going after business men to create an equal playing field for business women. Your whole movement is based on men falling in line and doing it. And if you don't, then we go to the Me Too movement of who has he harassed or who has he done or said anything to the way he can get him out of here and put somebody else in that we approve of who's going to further the movement. It's dependent on men falling in line.
I thought the whole Me Too movement, you said Me Too movement, right?
No, I said if we're not going and he's not willingly doing it, somebody's pulling up. Listen, let me finish.
A clarification question.
I'm trying to
willingly do what?
Listen, if you just let me finish and it'll be clear.
But I'm not. I'm confused.
Listen, let me explain.
I'm confusion, babe.
Can you let me explain it?
I'm
you keep cutting me. No, you're not. You cutting me off. Just listen. This is what I'm talking about.
You're not making sense.
Then listen. I can't make sense if you're cutting me off every other word.
Well, part of it is that you're yelling. If you could just like calm down.
What I'm saying is the women's movement into business is dependent on men. You want to know why?
Wait, the women's movement into business?
The women's movement up the ladder in business is based on men right now. You want to know why?
Yeah, because the career, the corporate world or whatever is predominantly dominated by men.
Right. So guess what you need?
So it does depend on the people that are there welcoming us in, just like with with racism and things like that, or institutional racism or institutional racism and systemic racism. If you have white men predominantly owning the roles and making the decisions of who they hire, and they decide they're only going to pull up white men that look like them, not black women, not black men, not Hispanic women, not Hispanic men, then it makes it to where we'll always be at the bottom. The movement is not just to discredit to you guys, but to basically come up to the advantage of where they are. And black men are also at a disadvantage in comparison to white men, obviously.
No, we're at a disadvantage compared to black women,
and black women are also above black men in most instances. I think a black woman can find her way through corporate America a little easier than a black man. But my point is that if the people up top don't choose to bring themselves down a little so they can see where the marginalized people are, then we'll never get to that point.
That's not true right now, and last summer was the start of why. So, like I was saying, your men, the whole movement is based on men being considerate. So
feminism? What movement?
No, women being seen as equality.
What equality? Movement?
The equality movement is based on men opening the doors, like you're saying, businessmen opening the doors equally for business women. Now, if we're trying to understand why business men don't want to open that door, is because once you open that door and the way the women's movement is trending, there's never going to be a chance for you to walk back through that door. Why? Because like what you said, women are going to pull up other women. Why? Because they want women to be the face and women to be the representative. So if I've been hold on. No, you don't. No, most people do not just want more opportunity. You want to know why? Because even with men who are not bad people but don't want to hire more women, you want to know what happens? They get Me Too'd. And it don't even have to be Me Too'd for something that you actually did. It could be for a thought or an action or a gesture. Kevin Hart got Me Too'd for a joke he told in 2006 when the culture was completely different. He got Me Too'd within the last 3 years. You're going to have successful men who get Me Too'd. Why? Because we need to move them out in order to make progress. Progress has been made, and especially for certain people, they take the Malcolm X method, by any means. So if you're telling me we're going to move people out by any means and play dirty, and we're going to play on the level of them, guess what? You got to do the same things they do. So you got to vilify some of them same folks the way they feel like you've been vilified. The feminist movement is not about equality. It's about having a leg up.
The feminism movement of today is toxic, and I feel they want superiority, not equality.
Exactly.
That's what he's saying.
Even if we look at certain laws, like we said, child support, child custody, that's something that's automatically going to go to a woman. When we start looking at things such as assault, sexual assault, physical battery, looking at the fight Bow Wow had with his ex-girlfriend. She physically assaulted him the whole time. He comes into the jail with marks all over his face, bruises. She comes in with nothing. But they arrest both because he's the man in the party, and you can't arrest one without the other. But if it had just been him and she had bruises, she wouldn't have went to jail at all. He would have been the only one going.
Yeah, because that's different, though.
No, it's not.
If he assaulted her only, then why would she be going to jail?
So why did he go to
jail
jail if he was the only one assaulted? He was the only one assaulted. Hold on.
He didn't hit her back.
Right. And mind you,
he didn't hit her
back.
He
didn't hit her back. Oh, and mind you, social media clowned him for not hitting her back. Social media, the same people were saying they want to get rid of domestic violence, not have anything. Those are the same people.
I don't consider myself a feminist because I would not want to be drafted. And I feel you can't pick and choose to be a feminist when it's beneficial. Exactly.
Like, people.
I don't think I consider myself one either. I'm more of a like, what's right is right, what's wrong is wrong type person.
And that's what I'm saying, but people were clowning him for not being a domestic abuser. But had he been a domestic abuser, everybody would have came for his head.
He would be on the cancel culture list,
right? So,
with Chris Brown and everybody else.
But that's what I'm saying. You're never gonna get that.
Oh.
You're never gonna get that for women. When a woman beats up a guy, you're never gonna get, she's a domestic abuser. You're never gonna see that. That don't even come up. Oh, and the first question becomes the same question men should ask: what did he do? That becomes the first question. What did he do?
I remember he was effed either way.
Exactly. But why is the question when she beats him up, what did he do? Not when he beats her, well, what did she do? What did he do? Because he must have pushed her. Not she was wrong. Not she deserves to go to jail. Not she's a domestic abuser. What did he do?
I mean, some folks be like, somebody need to whoop her butt.
Yeah, but the thing is, he can't because he goes to jail, and you want to know what he's charged with? Domestic violence. So that's what I'm saying. When we're talking about equality, the system's never going to be equal. Even with sexual assault. Never. Never. You can't ever. The only time you see stuff about sexual assault between men and women where the woman is an aggressor is normally somebody who's in school.
Yeah, children.
They're children. You never see when a man can come up and say, she sexually assaulted me, the first thing I'm going to say is how.
I'm not going to lie. I said how too because I didn't really think of that, because for two adult people, I didn't think of it. But
how could you
for a child, I could see it because a child can be, manipulated.
But how can you not see how that could happen?
Because in most instances, a man is stronger than a woman.
It doesn't matter.
So how is she constraining him? You can if
you can't.
If she's trying to kill you or do something bad to you.
And it's your word versus hers, and her word is normally going to be valued more.
I'm just saying that, in the instance of that, it's the reason why we say how is because a man can physically restrain a woman in most instances. A woman typically cannot restrain a man because the woman is usually smaller than a man. So constraining him, unless she does something like put something in his drink, which could happen, obviously, it's like, well, how? What does she do to constrain you? Because number one, women, when they're put in that situation, you're restrained down. The man can physically insert himself into her. But for a man to be able to engage in that, he has to be, erect. So it's kind of like, how would she do it unless she drugged him or something?
Read the comment and D just answered your question.
It's similar to a woman being aroused when she's being assaulted. A man would have
the same
reaction. If a man is drunk or incapacitated in some way, a woman would have the upper hand. A man may not want to resist or fight back because she could flip the story. I thought that at first, but it makes sense.
There you go.
But I just said that unless you drug him or he's intoxicated or something, it doesn't make sense otherwise. Because a sober man is stronger than a woman. Even if he doesn't hit her, he can hold her arms or get away from her.
Not always. You have some women out here who are strong and who can fight. And the difference is, it shouldn't matter whether. Would you ask a woman how she got raped?
So people do all the time.
No, they didn't ask. No, a lot of times they ask, what were you wearing? They don't ask how. What were you wearing? What were you doing?
What were you doing? How did it happen? Where were you at? The questions get asked, period, because it's such a subject. It's such an accusation. People want to understand how it happened.
And the whole thing.
And women get accused of lying when they admit to these things as well, all the time, to the point where women don't even want to speak up when people do these things to them.
So imagine how men feel when they get raped.
The same way.
Worse. There's nobody who cares. And you want to know why? Because police,
I'm not
even
saying
women,
it to argue, but it's like I'm just trying to make you understand that like it's certain battles that we have that we're not alone in. We battle the same.
I understand, but what I'm saying is, imagine a guy being in that situation, and literally there is no rape kit for a guy. There is no.
I thought I said I didn't want to talk about this.
There is no. Most of these concessions that they make for other people or for women are not made for men. Because you're supposed to enjoy it, even if you don't. The only thing I'm saying is, it's a lot of stuff that goes out there that men go through that are not looked at. Even with mental health.
Boom, assault charge for the man.
Exactly. We're
but
just...
the courts could take a woman's side, even if she was in the aggressor. If she says the other way around, she would be believed. A woman could simply be fighting her off and defend herself.
But I'm also saying, even when we're getting to mental health, we're just starting to get to mental health that matters for men. We're
and
just
black women as well.
Right. But I'm saying, the thing is, most black women, I understand, but even from a young age,
we've been
it's
told
different.
We have an attitude, or we're being fast, or we're being a smart mouth and acting grown. We're not allowed to be angry. We always get stereotyped as angry black woman and stuff like that.
How do you think black guys get portrayed?
Similar, but I just want you to know you're not alone in that.
I didn't
Some
say
of the things that you're saying, it's not like we don't experience.
I didn't say you are. What I'm saying is, now there's just starting to be a thing, even amongst women, where guys can talk about their emotions. Mm-hmm. Even with guys being able to talk to women, there's starting to now be progress.
Hey, pretty mysterious. I thought you were asleep, girl. Hey.
There's just now starting to be progress made. That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying black women don't go through. What I'm saying is, for men who've never even been considered to have emotions or to even be emotional, that's crazy. I'll even bring up another thing. They do interviews all the time where, what do women think of men who don't want to have sex with them, even if he's attractive and he says he's straight? What's their first reaction if he say he don't want to have sex with them? You even asked me that question when we were dating.
Because it's different.
Why?
Because most men don't act like that.
Hold on. It's weird because women want to be respected and you respect them, and now they look at you as if you're playing for the other team. I don't get it. Because
a lot of men don't act that way, so it's just different. It's like, you ask, well, do you like me? Maybe you like someone else.
What's wrong with him?
Or maybe you're sleeping with someone else.
What's wrong?
It's a checklist of things. It's an automatic assumption to that one.
But hold on. I can't assume anything if she says she don't want to sleep with me. Why can't I assume something? It's her decision. You can assume it
if you want to.
No, but the first thing I met with is it's her decision.
Because men typically don't exercise their decision to abstain from having sex.
Yes, they do.
No, they don't.
Yes, they do.
A lot of men always seem to pursue sex very quickly.
So do you want to know?
Courting women, it's like it comes up automatically within a short period of time.
Do you want to know why?
Why?
Because of the question you asked. You remember the same thing you're assuming. If he waits too long, he might be gay. If he goes too quick, he's a horn dog. So now
he might be gay. He might be in another relationship.
Or maybe he's just not interested in sharing his penis with you because his penis is valuable. Or do you see penis as valuable? Because you believe guys are throwing them everywhere. So maybe penises
a lot of y'all guys are throwing them everywhere.
You want to know why they throwing them everywhere? Because women take them and they like them and they want them, but they don't want to be described as the word that comes with being promiscuous.
That's why. You don't want his boys to... Hold on.
Y'all take it. Y'all give it because y'all want to, too,
Yeah,
though.
but
It
you-
ain't just about because you trying to prove
Yes, it is.
something to us.
Yes, it is,
It's
because
for y'all
you want to
self
know
as
why?
well.
Because a lot of girls, once you get to a certain age and they feel like you're a virgin, they start spreading rumors to you about you to other people because they don't know you've had sex and they don't know your personal life and you don't tell everything. So girls will start rumors because even though they like you and they want to sleep with you, they not going to approach you and say nothing. They want you to approach them, and if you don't approach them in enough time, they'll sit up here and spread a rumor about you until you do what they say you're supposed to do.
Babe, you sound like you've been hurt.
No, it's not that I'm hurt. It's just that I recognize it, and guys talk to guys. And my thing is, my ego ain't so strong to where I'm not gonna voice my opinion.
Thank you. Y'all, it is 1 o'clock my time. We need to get up off of here. I gotta get up early. Dad's gotta get up at what, 6:30?
Yeah, but I mean, we can finish this conversation another time. All I'm saying is, when you talk about guys are 9 times out of 10 boxed into a certain box before they even get to establish themselves.
I would just say I never really met anybody like you before. So
Were you looking?
I thought I was.
That's a whole different topic.
What just gonna walk away like?
Because it's a whole that in itself, a conversation with women is a whole different topic.
I'm just gonna say that. Yeah. Yes, lots of my. Yeah, I'm gonna need another drink, girl. You see these 2 cups? I had something to drink, but it's gone. I need some more. A lot of my friends say men are easy and have no self-respect.
And that's a lie, because the thing is, men are taught from the very beginning, if you're not getting the jars, you're not chasing women, something's wrong with you. And the different thing is, as much as women want to be adopted, y'all are, to be accepted for not doing the same thing, y'all apply the same philosophy to men that y'all don't want to apply to y'all. He should be easy and he should want to sleep with me because that shows me he know what he's doing. However, I don't want him to be with everybody and have a high number to where it's a problem. It's the same thing women say. You want him to be able to please you in bed, but you don't want him to learn how to please you while he's with you. You want him to come in knowing, but you don't want to know everywhere he's been going. Because you want to feel like something you had is sacred, but yet you want it to be the best thing in the world that nobody's ever had and that he ain't gave to nobody. How does that make sense?
I just wanted the person to be with me. I don't really care about what.
No.
I mean, I care to an extent. I don't want you to be like dirty and STDs, but I don't care that you have experience before me.
You don't, but a lot of people do, and a lot of people get insecure.
And it is. I'm like, honestly, it is better to lose your have your first time with somebody who knows what they're doing, because it may be less painful for you as a woman.
That's
different.
You're talking about something different. I'm saying
I'm just
when we're
answering
talking about
what you said.
No,
I would rather not think about what happened before me. Exactly.
Right, but you want him to have the experience. So where is he getting the experience from?
Either the experience or just the comfortableness with me to be able to listen to what I need and vice versa. And a lot of folks skip that step, and then y'all end up having bad sex because you think you know what you're doing because of what you experienced before or saw on the visual things that you watched alone, and then you don't understand how to communicate with your partner in an intimate manner so that you can build a mutually beneficial and pleasing experience for the two of you.
Hold on, y'all think y'all are excellent at that?
I'm not saying that we always are, but in those instances where you're saying that we want someone with experience, more so the experience is, I guess, desired, because if you had more experience, then you may have learned like kind of a few things about what may or may not work in that area. But if you're learning together because you're both inexperienced, then you just have to be able to be very comfortable and vulnerable with each other, to which you can communicate with each other to say, I like this or I don't like that, or try it this way and this stuff like that. And a lot of people don't get to that point. So they sit there and end up not having good physical experiences with each other because they won't listen or communicate with the person that they're with.
Y'all are communicating, but y'all are communicating on how to operate a piece of machinery y'all don't have. So a lot of times when y'all are saying stuff, y'all can talk about it, but y'all can't physically explain how to do it. So what you're saying is not teaching.
Well, some of us can because we know how to pleasure ourselves.
It's not about pleasuring yourself. What I'm saying
It isn't about pleasuring yourself, but that doesn't mean you don't know what things work for you. Like a lot of women, I understand, but a lot of women, you're saying I don't have a penis, so I'm not gonna know exactly how to work a penis, and you don't have a vagina, so you're not gonna know how to work a vagina.
So what I'm saying,
but what I'm saying is, if you do self pleasure, you may understand that you like stimulation in a certain area, and you can guide your partner on how to do that,
but you also,
without using his genitalia.
But you also have to,
and vice versa. Like you might understand what you like when it pertains to touch or oral sex or whatever. But if you're not comfortable with that partner, then that means you're not going to be able to communicate effectively with them. To be honest, to tell what they need to teach. Not everybody is teachable. Not everybody wants to be taught, or not everybody is comfortable and secure in themselves where they can take that feedback without it going to their heart, or they, I don't want to have sex at all because I'm telling you what I don't like or something like that.
I will say this: a lot of women are not good teachers in that role. Because
why?
Listen, because what you're doing is you're trying to compare, and a lot of women do this, which is why they talk about what
she reattracted the message. Wait, you gotta learn your body. Let me stop oversharing on the live. I missed it.
The reason why I say that is a lot of women compare one body to a different body. So
y'all do the same thing.
No.
And some of y'all compare porn to your wives and your girlfriends, and we're not Pinky.
You're not
or whoever y'all be watching.
Y'all are not. Listen, you went in a complete left field, and I wasn't even going that way. What I'm saying is you're comparing one body to another body, one piece of equipment to another piece of equipment, and you don't know how to talk to both people in a way that's teachable, but you also don't understand why you trying to teach this person what's pleasurable to you. You're not listening to what's pleasurable to him. Ergo,
why come every time we have a conversation about whatever, all night tonight, you're always accusing the woman of not listening to the man in every single of these conversations?
How many, do you want to have a transparent moment?
No.
Are you sure?
Is it going to be embarrassing to me?
No. How many times when we were talking with a professional did she understand and have to say, talk about listening?
Oh, yeah, a lot of times.
So imagine if that's you and a lot of other women have that problem, and we're trying to say, hey, that's not comfortable. Can we try something else? No, I like it this way. You need to do it like this. Try it this way. Try it that way. You're not doing it right. You ain't even trying no more. I don't even want to do it. That's what you go through sometimes. And when you're doing that, he's going to shut down on you because you didn't even acknowledge what he said to say, I don't feel comfortable. And he's the one working the machinery to give you the pleasure. So if you're not even listening to him and you're saying he don't listen and he you bad-mouthing him without even getting the feedback on how he feels to make stuff work, why would he want to sit there and do that?
I mean, likewise.
Right, but that's what I'm saying. But the difference is it's valued more for us to listen to y'all bodies because of everything else than y'all to listen to ours.
I think we should both listen to each other.
Right, but that's not how it's taught. And that's why I've been saying that all night, because a lot of what you're saying, we should, is not taught. It's not taught for women to care about men's sexual needs like that. And it's not taught for men to care about women because most women don't care about men. Most dudes literally, when they're saying, most dudes will say that they don't want to teach most girls because either A, they're scared and they're not willing to listen, or B, they're experienced and they don't care and they're just worried about themselves. So if you're saying that the problem is listening, and we're already saying even before we get to the bedroom that listening is a problem, why would he want to deal with that? Why would he want to deal with that problem later on? And it's not her, D. It's other women. It's a lot of dudes who say that they'll say stuff and, she don't listen to me, so I don't say nothing. And then women, well, what do you think? Why the hell do you care what I think? You don't listen to what I think when I give my opinion. So why does my opinion matter now? Most women just want to hear what they think through his mouth. Ergo, it's done. So that's why guys don't give their opinions. And that's why guys get to, you can be happy or you can be right, because he can be right all day and night. But if she's not happy, it does not matter in the eyes of most people. She's the one who's supposed to be happy. You can adjust. And that's why older men say you can either be happy or you can be right, but you can't be both. Because 9 times out of 10, and most men have said, it takes her getting to that maturity level of she can be wrong without being offended. And most women don't do that.
I admit that women have a tendency to ask their friends what they think the hubby means instead of listening to what the husband says.
Or they'll tell you what you mean instead of listening to what they. Most dudes will.
That's true, D.
Most
I've
dudes
done
will
that
say
before.
straight up, "This is what I mean," and he says it in a way
Men
that might
don't
not
say
be like.
one thing and have a hidden meaning like us women do sometimes.
Right. If a dude say, if you ask him what he want for dinner, I want a medium rare steak, and then you cook chicken, he's gonna be pissed. Well, why are you mad? I cooked. You asked me what I wanted, and I said a medium rare steak, and then it was like it don't matter. If you come in and you tell me, hey, all I have is chicken, how do you want me to cook it? Then I can tell you how I want chicken. But if you telling me I have an open array of choices and I say I want a medium rare steak and you say, well, I'm gonna give you chicken, he's gonna be pissed. Why? You asked him what he wanted and then you went completely against the acknowledgement of saying, hey, he said he wanted this. I should at least voice that we don't have it, or say, hey, these are the options that I have and we can go from here.
Men generally are direct and simple.
Yeah, and I forgot to plug it. It's I'm gonna plug it on here in the comments later, but it's a sermon that's based around the struggles of men and what men go through, and it's one of the things to where it's the agendas that people know but don't acknowledge because they don't think that they matter. So it's different. It's a lot for anybody to carry the weight of a household on their shoulders and then come back in and the person that they're trying to help is blistering them verbally because they don't like something. And you done had a long day at work and you done did all this stuff and then you come home to getting blistered. It's a lot. So a lot of times when guys say they wait until their 30s or 40s to get married, they literally have the capacity at that point to deal with that and not be affected anymore. Because they've built up a wall. And most guys can get to that wall to where everything around them can be falling apart, but they're so tunnel vision on what makes them happy. They don't love life. They love the barrel of the gun they're looking down to see the vision that they want to see. It doesn't work the same way. And it's never going to. But all I'm saying is, while women are out here fighting against men, you got to understand the plight. And most women say they do, and I don't think they do at all. And what you have to do. Not just physically, but mentally. Mentally. It's not the same. And it's not meant to be. But the thing is, we're changing the rule book and not adjusting for everybody. We're adjusting for one party. And it can't just be we're gonna adjust for women and not adjust for men. Because at that point, what y'all are gonna do is what black women have been doing for a while now. I don't need a man, I can carry it. And men find no reason to be here, and then people start getting mad when they date outside of their race. But like they said, it's a difference. And I think we had this conversation at CJ's house. It's a difference between dating in your race and out of your race. Because they're raised differently. They're raised differently. Some are raised the same, but a lot are raised differently. 2-parent household. 3-bed, 2.5 bathroom house, white picket fence, a dog, 2 kids. That's the aspect that they want and that they keep and that they want to enjoy, because it creates a different security system amongst families. When you know I can walk into the house and I can talk to mom and I can talk to dad and I can talk to sister and I can talk to brother and I can go play with my dog, and everybody who's supposed to be mentoring me and loving me and bestowing stuff in me, they're always in the same house. It's not that I gotta come in and ask mama, can I talk to daddy, and then mama go off for 45 minutes, how about daddy ain't this and daddy ain't that, and he done missed their child support and everything, I ain't even want these kids, and he messed up my body by doing this, and I could have did this and I could have did that, and I should have made your father, before you even get the phone number to be able to call your daddy. And then your daddy realized, oh, your mama gave me your number. Your mama should have gave me your number 6 months ago. She know I've been trying to contact you. I pay my child support every time. And every time I ask a call, she say, you at your girlfriend's house. And I know you ain't at your girlfriend's house because last time I talked to you, you ain't had no girlfriend. You was just playing football and being with your buddies. You go into 2 different conversations and the only thing you want to do is contact one parent. But because 2 parents are bickering, you can't even have straight conversations on stuff you need because they so busy being mad at the other party that they're not even willing to see. We supposed to come together and be a business so we can help grow this child. People don't look at this. This is a business. And if people start looking at it that way, we may be able to get further. But if you only see the person that you're married to as either a crutch or a burden, you're never going to look at them as business. The dopest,
I'm not following you.
the dopest thing I heard Dave Chappelle say is that if you live your life through the lens of money, you will never be happy. Because the only thing you're chasing is something that you can never get enough of. It's money. You'll never have enough money to really be happy once you start gaining money, because the game becomes, how much money can I make? What voids can I fill? What status can I reach? So you're filling your body with something that you can't feel. You start to value something that we've called the root of all evil, the love of money.
Yeah.
So now once we get out of this point of how can we stop valuing just money and how can we value everything else in life, it starts to make a difference. If we can value, you know what, instead of women saying, you know what, I ain't dating no man that's a trash man, I ain't dating no man that's a plumber, I ain't dating no man that's a mechanic, why not? Don't he have a stable job? Don't he make money? Is he a good person? Can he have kids? Can you build a life with him? Those are the questions you gotta ask. Not, he a sanitation worker, I can't be seen with him. Why not? You work at you work at Popeyes on third shift. Who you trying to impress? You live in Section 8. Who you trying to impress? He own his house. He might have to make payments for $1,000 a month, but he got it. You paying $200 and living where you live. It's okay.
And those garbage men be making bank.
Right.
They do.
And that's my thing. We get so caught up in what status can I reach when I get married versus can I truly be happy and leave something better for my family. We don't value happiness. We value status because everybody wants to be popular. Everybody can't be popular. Somebody got to be the jock and somebody got to be the class clown. That's just the way it goes. Can you work your way up? Absolutely. And if you have enough drive and you get enough of the good breaks and blessings, you can definitely have it. But guess what? There's only so many spots. That's why they call it the 1%. It's only so many spots to go around. It's only so rich so many people are gonna let you get. There's only so much you're gonna be able to buy. There's only so much you're gonna be able to sell. So if we start looking into marriage to be happy and truly love each other and truly say, I'm going to pick the relationship and my partner to be dedicated to, that's one thing. But once we say, hey, I'm dedicated to me, and if the relationship works, and if it don't, it don't, that's the way stuff goes.
Somebody got to be on the chess and speech team like me. D, you're funny.
That's just the way it is. And I think once people, both genders, start looking at being happy over being right all the time and having this status, we start to let things grow. And we stop fighting each other so much. But the reason people are fighting each other is because I gotta be famous here. No, I gotta be famous here. I gotta go viral here. I gotta sell this. Bruh, live your life. The money will find you. That's one thing folks got to realize. If you got something that people want, the money will find you. You ain't got to go find it. But you have to be diligent in marketing. But once people look up there and they see your product is worth it, trust me, they'll call you. But you have to be diligent in doing work. It's the same thing with marriage. If you're a good person and you treat people well and you can be trustworthy and you can be lovable and you ain't too self-deprecating and you ain't always got to point out every flaw and you ain't got to talk about somebody after they gain 15 to 20 pounds and you ain't got to tell somebody they got to push away from the table and you ain't got to, my daddy don't like when you do this or my mama don't like when you do that or my brother don't like you. Who cares? Once we start getting into being happy, we can start making a difference. But until then, we're going to keep getting the same thing we always got because everybody wants to go men against women. What can we do for people in their relationship to make their relationship work for them and for them to defend their relationship no matter what anybody else says? Part of the problem is people don't defend their own relationships. You can be mad at it, but I'd be damned if you sit up here and let somebody bad. You can't let people tell you how your relationship is supposed to go, especially when they don't have one or a successful one. Mm-hmm. And then for some of the people who got the successful one, do you know how the nuts and bolts work inside of their relationship to make sure they're actually happy versus fronting?
Because a lot of folks be fronting.
So once we get to that point, we can start seeing the difference. But as far as everybody needing to keep up with the Joneses and do all that, look, if you can't afford nothing but a Ford Pinto, drive your Ford Pinto happily. take it to the car wash.
That's a real car? A
Yeah,
Ford Pinto?
yeah.
Oh.
Take it to the car wash it, keep the inside clean, and be proud of your Ford Pinto, because unlike a lot of other folks, you got a way to get back and forth. But folks got to be happy with what they got. Otherwise, you ain't never going to be satisfied.
Okay, you guys, I am sleepy, as you can tell. So I just want to say thank you very much for joining us for our live session tonight to celebrate my birthday. You have a 07 Volkswagen Jetta? Okay. I have a Nissan Versa Note. But anyway, I just want to say thank you for joining me to bring in my birthday, the first hour and almost 30 minutes of my birthday with you guys. I enjoyed talking to you all. Thank you to Des for being my co-host. I'm going to try to get some sleep because I do have to work in the morning in a few hours. And at this point, I'm operating on like, what, 3-4 hours of sleep and have to basically get up again in like 5 hours. So thank you so much. I will see you guys again soon, maybe next week. I don't know. But be sure to go to my channel, like this video, this live session, but go to my channel and check out the new videos that I dropped this week. I've been uploading a lot lately, so find a video, watch it, comment, like it, share, whatever. Thank you guys very much for making my birthday feel special and spending this time. Some of y'all was here the whole time, basically, and I really appreciate that. And yeah, I'll see you guys soon in a new video or on live. Have a wonderful rest of your week. Good night, and stay tuned. I will be vlogging as I celebrate this weekend and next weekend, because I'm basically celebrating for the month of May. So, bye, y'all. Thank you, We Create. Good night.